Heidi ho everyone, my name's Mr. Fruit, and welcome to the 45th episode of GG Over Easy. In today's episode, we are joined by one Datto, and in today's video, well, you could probably see by the length, it's an impromptu, extra long one. I feel like it goes without saying, we had a couple bullet points, and I think we hit one, and it's nearly 3 hours. It's going to be a good one. We have a lot of interesting talks, a lot of stuff behind content creators, some drama, be a decent human being, stuff going on in the gaming community right now, everything behind YouTube and Twitch, some Patreon questions, a little bit of everything in there. My dogs keep harassing me. It's great. Hope you guys enjoy this one. Here we go. Welcome back to the GG Over Easy podcast. We need that like old radio intro. I did that for like the very the super old
dude, I gave you that one where it was like bow, but like you never did like
yeah no, it's,
I was like welcome, and then you're like bow,
we're not gonna add a little with it. We're not gonna add a little bow to the end of the sax riff.
The sax part is just too good though.
Yeah.
You need a producer just hitting the little sound effect.
Like 1 week it's like a guitar like bow, and then next week it's like boom boom boom,
whatever,
like a Seinfeld bass, you know.
Whenever the pandemic is over, maybe we can get a little compound for GG Easy and just have the whole setup, have like actual production.
That would be nice. We need a Jamie, dude.
We do. Or
I was listening to the H3H3 podcast. I don't remember what the guy's name is, but they have their own Jamie, who just isn't quite as notable as Jamie because Jamie's just
you gotta get like 100 episodes before we get a Jamie. Like how long did it take Joe Rogan to get a Jamie? You know
according to podcast scripture, it reads here: one must make 100 episodes before they can obtain their own Jamie.
Yep, that's true.
Right, that's about another year to go
before we get the Spotify deal.
Yeah, literally like a year to go.
Spotify deal.
This is episode 45. Thank you very much.
World Weather Channel.
To Datto-san. Datto is here with us. The first ever three-peat returning guest. We had him in the Legacy. We had him when he was here for... You were here for Fruit Summit, and then...
I didn't know if we were counting Legacy or not.
Yeah. Well, we'll say 2.5. It's like,
those
like an asterisk.
But still part of our legacy.
Yeah, that's fair.
We'll always remember you. And the good times we had when ironically the podcast was more popular.
I legit watched the like Fruit Summit highlights you did, Datto, and I like legit got like sad. Like because it's almost like a year. We were talking about that. It's almost a year. Like
we ideally would have been having Fruit Summit in like 2 months, but
yeah, we would have had it pretty recently. But yeah, I'll go watch my highlights and like some other videos and stuff whenever I just like I want a little pick me up. I'll just go watch.
Oh, see, that's the opposite.
When I hit the back-to-back nines, just and I was like,
dude, that was
I feel better now.
That nobody will ever do it like you did at that. Like that was nuts.
Just the luck needed was insane.
Well,
I'm glad we caught that on camera because that's a moment. That's a moment.
Sounds,
right there.
It sounds like there's 5,000 people in the basement. Like like 4 people. Like.
Well, it's just the fact that not only did you pull the nines, but you hit the nines.
Yeah, it wasn't like he got a 9. You hit them. That was
and I did it immediately after Rob was yelling at me to do it. Like I was already trying to do it. Like I was already like pre-planning. Like like the down B does the thing with the hammer. Okay,
this will be hype.
And then literally 2 seconds later, just the timing. Can't ask for more.
You just can't plan. You just can't script moments like that. They just happen.
Cannot.
I tried to write a script, but I just couldn't come up with something that good. Just didn't work. But yeah, hopefully
think our next Smash tournament is not on Ultimate though, and might be something different.
Yeah, it's true. We do have we hit a goal. We hit 8 million goals on the charity stream, but one of them was
that was one of the goals.
One of the stretch, I think it was a stretch goal, was Smash tourney.
Yeah.
But I think we're gonna look to do it on Melee because they have the new. Well, they've always had net play. But I guess they have this new like rollback where playing online feels almost identical to LAN. Which if some random modders can do it, Nintendo, like, hello? It's like,
what are we doing here?
You're how big? You have how much money? And you guys arguably, no, not arguably, you have the worst servers. out of any big game company.
Close. They're back in. They have like 2009 network.
They just never cared about online any of that stuff at all.
But what's crazy is like Animal Crossing is just like the bare minimum good enough. Like it's just
but
enough.
even
then though, like
loading into an
low
island
latency for Animal Crossing.
I mean, even Animal Crossing is pretty jank.
Yeah,
but that's like, and the sad part is that's like the best. That's the most robust their online has ever been.
Someone is approaching your island.
Yeah,
Please exit your menu. Exit your menu.
5 minutes.
Yeah, it's like 5-minute loading screen showing someone, and then they slowly come in on the plane. Meanwhile, there's 10 people on the island stuck. Like, let me go. And
it's
then
like
someone
Trials originally. Trials of the Nine, where they did those intros. Like the first time, second time was like, oh, this is so cool. And then the third time, like,
we get it.
oh,
it's like
no,
skip.
How long was that actually taking up? Like that
Actually took
intro?
up,
I want to say like a minute.
Yeah.
Like, okay, let me put it this way. Let me do some quick fact checking. This would be where I'd be like, hey, Jamie. But we don't. So let me figure this out. Okay. Average amount
See,
of
you
time
should where we should have another cam. This is where like we should have like a Patreon goal. Like if we get to a certain amount, then we have like the webcam or like the new cam where we have like so the video people have like what you're doing on the cam. Transition.
Okay. So the average person, roughly in their lifetime, spends 6 months waiting at traffic lights.
Yeah.
If they'd kept that stat would have held true for Trials of the Nine. 6 months spent waiting for these loading screens of people emoting.
It's in a lifetime though. Like
well, the worst part is that
you underestimate Destiny players.
Destiny's loading times are actually deceptively long because we have really fancy loading screens where the ships are flying. So not only are you waiting like 3 minutes to get into a Trials match, you're waiting a whole other minute just to play, and it's depressing, and my life is pain. But I mean, at least they fixed it.
Starting this one off right. Starting off right.
I just use that time. I just use that time doing something else. Like, oh, I'm flying in. Let me go grab a cup of water or something. Or let me go look at Reddit.
For downtime though, for you, but like for normal players.
Yeah, no. Yeah. When I'm like recording a video and I boot up a PvP match, I'm like, I'm gonna be here for like 10 minutes. So it's just like, oh, I got beavered. Okay, let me just re-queue that. Like,
I mean, that's why I always have something else on the other monitor. Just like, all right, we're waiting,
ready to go. You know the drill.
Appetit before Bon Appetit went up in flames, but Bon Appetit,
dude, Pepe hands about Bon Appetit.
That stuff still hurts, dude.
It's just like the one wholesome thing in life. It's like not even that is sacred.
Wait,
for real. Like
you talking about the YouTube channel?
Yeah.
What happened?
There was a whole.
It went down. It went down with the Bon Appetit YouTube channel about a month ago. Just like people of color not getting paid. Like Sola was like not getting paid for like appearances on videos, and like she never wanted to be, or something, like she didn't want to be in videos,
and like not even getting near the amount that other people were getting.
Oh,
like,
and
not
Sola,
even close.
And Sola is like clear cut the best chef in that kitchen too. So that was like, wow, that's crazy to me.
And she was originally there, I think, to be like an editor or something, and like she wasn't even getting paid the same amount as like some other editors, and and just like all this other stuff, like the editor in chief had to resign because like some picture of him came up where he was not appropriately dressed or visualized, to keep it light, and it just no good. I'm sure you can go read all about it somewhere else, because I only have the very broad details, but
it's like watching your parents get into a fight. It's just one of your parents happens to be a racist and a sexist, and it's just the worst. Like, ugh.
It's just like the one channel where it's like, you know what, the world sucks, but at least I have Brad in his kitchen making fermented food, and not even that. The world won't even let us have that.
What is it about our? Oh, go ahead, Christian.
Well, I hadn't heard of that channel until Fruit Summit. When you guys were like, I love Bon Appetit. I was like,
dude.
I was like, what's that?
Great,
like,
great channel.
They just showed you how to make homemade Pop-Tarts. I'm like, what?
Like, I'd always just see the one where it's like, chef made this one compared to how it actually looks.
Oh yeah, Claire's
That's the one I always see.
That was the one that that series really, I think, put him on the map on YouTube in particular, because those videos went super omega viral.
I would die for Claire Saffitz from the Bon Appetit Kitchen.
And then like everyone started getting their own shows, and like I don't think there was a show that I did not like from all the cast.
Really?
I would watch everything they put up on the channel, literally every single video.
Okay, so this is what
you won't even say that about my channel too. So that's
we love cooking content, right? Why don't we like cooking then? Like I love watching cooking stuff, but it's not because that I hate cooking.
They are doing the work. They're doing all the work, and you're just observing it, and you're appreciating the work and the knowledge that they have. But as soon as you want to go do it, it's like, oh my, how long does it take? An hour?
Well, yeah, it's like part of that, and then the other part is like, all right, and then it comes out, and it's not what you expected. You didn't do it right.
You gotta get all the ingredients.
Well, you didn't even talk about that. Like, oh, they did this. Okay, well, let me just go make an hour grocery run real quick. Oh, this grocery store doesn't even have X or Y. All right, let me call around. Okay, some random shop. Okay, they have X or Y spice. Let me go get that. You come back, you start cooking. It takes forever. You go to make it, and then it doesn't meet your expectations. So instead, you're watching that. You're like, wow, that looks really cool. Wow, bread pudding sounds great. Who delivers bread pudding? Oh, yeah, I got it right here.
Exactly. Where can I go get that professionally made?
I am the opposite. I've actually gotten way more into cooking from
watching
Bon Appetit.
The few, the proud.
I actually made a couple months back. I actually made Claire's cherry cobbler.
Oh yeah,
and it was a life-changing experience.
Did you kill it? Kill it as in good. Like
it was dope. It was. I didn't even know it was possible for me to make that. That was the first time I had actually like made my own dough to
sous chef Blue.
Yeah, and I was like,
yes, chef.
You know what? I'm gonna do this because when you make. Because she hand makes the biscuits, so you actually have to get in there and whisk it all, and then hand knead your biscuits. And then I was like, I didn't think I was capable of doing this, but apparently I am. So I became a baker for a day, and I felt pretty tight. Thank you, Claire Saffitz from the Bon Appetit Test Kitchen.
When I did bake.
You go.
Sorry, I was just gonna say I will bake because I feel like between the two, baking's easier. Because I feel like there's usually a little more nuance in cooking where it's like a little more variable, but baking is like, did you measure and did you follow the directions? 9 times out of 10, it's going to come out the way you think.
Yeah, baking is definitely much more of an exact science. You're not really vibing baking.
Just a pinch of this.
I felt made their scones too. I forgot. Baking is tight. Okay, go on, Datto.
I felt super good when I did the donuts. Like right at the end of 2019, like making the donuts and following the exact recipe and actually having them turn out good is just like such a satisfying feeling.
Oh, well, when you hunt for your
food, long to get there.
Yeah, when you hunt for your food, you know it tastes better when you.
It hits different.
Exactly.
100%.
We can relate this all back to hunter foragers. You know what I'm saying? Like our ancestors were like, no, I agree. The best part too,
legs of animals.
The best part too about baking though is you can enjoy it mid cook. You know, you can like take a little bit of like the batter or something. And then it's like,
well, and like normally when I like bake something, I like stuff when it's kind of gooey, you know, like I don't like stuff normally like baked all the way through, you know, I kind of like a softer.
That's a health concern.
That is a major health concern.
But it kind of tastes better sometimes when it's like undercooked or something.
You're the type of dude. Okay, no meme. Back in the day when they still do like cookie dough, like edible cookie dough things like, for fundraisers and shit for school, right? Okay, there was not edible cookie dough. People would legit eat cookie dough, and they would get sick often. But people were like, "Yeah, well, cookie dough's the best." So, like,
but
for the cheerleader squad,
it is
salmonella,
cookie dough,
a small price to pay.
Yeah, exactly. That's
See, my team
but it is good.
We sold butter braids. That's
dude, those are dangerous. It was like the cherry. I wasn't big on the cinnamon. But have you guys ever had butter braids? I don't know.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't know if that's like
maybe it's
the
like,
company name. I don't know if that's technically, but it's kind of like
what is it called?
A butter braid.
Yeah, butter braid. I'm pretty. Yeah, I want to say it's a company. That might be like what they call it. It might not officially be it.
Hey,
Well, I
Jamie,
mean,
can
there's
you pull that up?
butterbraid.com.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's probably the company now.
Butter.
So there are these pastries that you get. You put them in the freezer, and then when you're ready, you just put them into the oven, cook them for like 20 minutes, whatever. Bring them out. Oh my god!
Yeah.
So bad
Just
for
from
you.
the look
but,
of it, it does look like a regional thing.
Oh, is
like
it?
Big Sky and so yeah, I haven't heard of it. Oh, I guess maybe it's not. No.
I mean,
Pretty good.
look at it. Maybe it has like a
Butter
different
braid
name or
pastry dealer.
something. Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
They're super
This
delicious.
is the first I've heard of it.
You know what? I've always wanted to bring this up, but I forget to bring it up. Speaking of regional things, Blue, don't answer because I think you might know. Rob might know either. But do either of you, Datto or Rob, know what a koozie is?
Like a beer koozie?
Okay, so you do. Rob, do you know?
I believe I do. Yes.
Okay, what do you think it is?
Me?
Yeah.
I think it's the like. So like, if this was my beer, it's a thing like you like keeps it from being cold. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Okay, wait. So you think you put it on it for what?
like a coast, like you put it like over the beer. You know what I
Okay,
mean? Like
and
you
what's
put
its
it,
purpose?
like for you to not get your hand wet or like put condensation on the on like the counter when you drink it.
Wait,
But now I could ask that to almost anyone in Colorado, and they'll have no idea because we don't have humidity. Like our things don't condensate that way. But when I used to live in Florida, everyone like, oh, you need a koozie. They have like emergency koozies. You know what I'm saying? And then
I've
I
never
came here
actually used one. I've owned like a few just from like random. I even got one from like when I did like Overwatch thing. When I went to the Overwatch League,
really?
they gave me one, and I've never actually used one. I've owned like 2 or 3 of them. Never used it.
They're very American.
It's super America.
I didn't know those. I thought those were just like a nationwide thing.
No. Well,
No,
that's why I never thought about it.
You never see them here. Ever.
Wow.
'Cause,
I
like-
didn't know that. You know what I learned today?
Yeah,
Unless
like if
somebody
this was
has, like,
outside
some-
here in Colorado,
Yeah.
dry. In Florida, you would think it's been in its own shower sweating, so that's why you have koozies. But
Would you need an
Really?
Omega koozie for that?
no, well, for
mean,
this thing, I
Texas
doubt they make a koozie this big.
I mean, Texas is super dry, and we have koozies down here.
But I think
I
that's
mean, I
more of a
guess we
south.
have
we're,
them.
but we're near the coast, so I imagine koozies just like naturally made their way.
And it's more of a
inland.
cultural thing, yeah. But
I use
like-
coasters sometimes when like I feel like I'm trying to be proper.
Yeah.
and I don't wanna-
Yeah,
and I don't want to be
that's
rude.
different.
You know,
Like, try and take
A
a
little
beverage
wild
out. Oh wow.
for the horde.
Try and take a beverage outside, in Florida. Give it a
Oh,
minute,
yeah.
and half of it's evaporated out. Like,
Yep.
and you pick it up, and so people koozies. But yeah, I remember that. It was like a year ago or something. I mentioned koozie to
Wow.
somebody, and they're like, "A what?"
What?
It's like a koozie,
Weird.
And they're like, "Never heard of it." And then I was
I
like,
originally
"Ah."
thought you were talking about a shoey. If you know
Okay.
what-
No, we don't need to talk about chewies. No, thank you.
Do you know what a shoey is, Mr. Fruit?
Oh,
You
no.
don't want to know. You don't want to know.
Do
Do you know what a shoey is, Datto?
No.
Blue's making it weird. It's not like a weird thing.
is
I mean, I
weird.
know what
It is
but I
weird.
don't know the
If
name.
you're trying to party, like it's not weird.
It's
but,
weird.
like,
Trust me, Datto and Fruit are gonna think it's weird. All right, go ahead.
So like you pour a beer into your shoe, and like you pour the whole beer into your shoe, and then you drink it from your shoe back, like. And then you drink
Okay,
it from
I've
shoe.
heard of that.
Yeah.
I've just never known the name.
I didn't
Yeah,
realize
it's
it had a
called
You
name.
can't tell me that's not weird.
It is
I
weird.
mean, it's not something
Thank
I'm
you.
really looking to go do right now.
Thank
Like,
you.
But
I
if
know
you're at
my
a party
shoes.
and someone is doing a shoey, you're like, yeah, like that guy.
I mean, I'll
Yeah.
cheer them on, but I'm not going to do it.
I'm
And then
not
they're
doing-
like,
yeah.
"You too?" Oh,
I'll be.
okay.
That's hype. I'm not doing it. Pog, do your
Yeah.
thing. I'm not doing a shoey though.
No, yeah, I just didn't realize it
I'm
had a
not doing
name.
that.
I know people do that, but I didn't realize it had a name.
Yeah, I didn't know it had a name either.
I thought you were.
Which signifies to me that people do it often enough that there is a name for it, which concerns me.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
I thought for a second though you were gonna tell me that there's like some funnel device they use in the shoe to drink out. I was like, oh my god.
Ugh.
No. I would do a shoe just because I think I would chug it so fast, like it wouldn't be dirty in the shoe.
The moment it hits the shoe,
5 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
It's dirty.
It's already dirty.
It would be like glug 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 glug.
No,
Done.
There's
there
no-
is no 5-second rule.
this is
Rob.
there is
Yeah.
no 5-second rule with
Mythbusters have
liquid.
covered this.
It is liquid. It is not a solid. It
you
is
drink it after 4 seconds. All the drummers are like, "No, we were almost there. We almost got him."
I think like when Mythbusters did it, like testing the 5-second rule, it was something like picoseconds of time, which is like just the most tiniest little increments of time that was with you could wait.
And that was with dry things. With wet things, it's immediately done. Like it's over. You're done.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I know where my shoes been. My feet. And I don't want to drink from that. So
our feet are not supposed to be clean. You know?
I actually have video of me actually doing a shoey now that I think about it. Well, it wasn't really a shoey. It was like this board game in college where like you flip a coin and like if it wherever like on the board, if you land on somewhere where it's not, you can like write on the quarter something to do in that spot. So if someone flicks the quarter and it lands in that spot, you have to do what that person said in there. And what I landed in was like a flip-flop waterfall or something like that. So like I had to take someone's flip-flop and like
someone else's
funnel out of it. Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
That might even be worse.
That's like that's worse because they're barefoot in that.
Yeah, there's a video of it on my phone. I gotta find it at some point. No, it was everyone's like, yeah.
Well, see, I mean, I'm the same person. Like, I see someone doing something stupid I wouldn't do. You got this, dude. Yeah.
Right. I will cheer it on, but I won't.
And that's
do
why
myself.
we're perfect for each other.
Yeah, but you got this, Rob. Rob be like, hey, you want it? Nah, dude, but you got it.
No judgment.
No judgment.
All, trust.
Yeah. Dude, I would totally not do that, but you got it, man.
I mean, but with the bomb though, you had my back. I accidentally did too much, and then
yeah, that was. But see, that was different.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
We were all in that together.
That was for the content.
That was we were all. Jesus. At least we didn't go to the level of Bless. Bless was just
that was
too
not
much
to play.
There's for the content and there's living the content.
That was fun.
Editing that back, seeing everything I missed because I was busy dying. Being able to see everyone else's reaction was hilarious.
Was that your favorite video to edit? I would say, like a video you actually went back and like enjoyed editing.
It's got to be up there.
Yeah,
got to be one of them. Yeah, because alternatively, one of the worst ones I've ever edited was also from Fruit Summit, which was the whole Smash tourney. That was a nightmare.
Oh yeah,
that sounds tight.
Like 9 different audio tracks on 4 different having to sing every single
you see this, that's nobody's fault but you guys, because Fruit specifically was like, oh, we gotta have production value, and then we did production value.
It turned out sick.
And to be fair, the video turned out amazing.
Yeah, but
it came at a price. But like the whole point was like we could do that because we're in person, otherwise it would have just been a normal,
right?
Like just another.
Yeah, go for the gusto. I respect it.
Yeah.
The mini golf was fun. And then Bless jumping into the...
I'm surprised you edited down as much as you did. I thought it was going to be like a 20-minute thing. You made that, you tightened that up. It was toy.
Yeah, because you did bowling too. Because we did bowling and stuff too. There's a lot that didn't make the cutting.
We didn't really record too much bowling though. We just kind of did like some random clips here and there. At least that's what I did anyway.
You just gotta... Editing back some nice memories, but then it's like, all right, randoms. What do they want to see? They don't want to see. There are certain things in here. It's like, oh, that was cool for us to experience, but maybe it won't make it.
Is it watchable?
Yeah, and a lot of the problem.
Some of that Pokemon stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah. A lot of the problem too was audio issues, like bowling specifically, and then sometimes when we were outside, there'd be some audio issues or stuff, or like ones that probably I was a little too nitpicky on, but the golf course was like right next to the highway. So sometimes it was just like people it's like, and I'm like, I don't want to have to subtitle this. So I just,
if there's one thing I've learned, it's that viewers tend to not notice those little nitpicky things like we do.
I do.
Like,
yeah, I was gonna say,
sometimes I edit videos on stream and I'll be listening through like an audio recording and I'll have these like little like, or like little like tongue clicks or like whatever. And I'll be like, ugh. And I want to edit it out.
Wait, what do you mean? Like a tongue, just
like a little, like when you're talking and you just hit a word in a weird way and it makes like kind of like a weird extra little click noise or something like that.
Or you like exhale a little too much, or
Yeah, and I'll edit those out, but I'll play them back for my chat to be like, "You guys hear that? You guys hear that little click noise?" And I'll play it back a few times, and most people are like, "I've literally I can't even hear it." I'm like, "What happened?" So that's taught me is I need to stop editing my audio as much as I do.
I'm glad you say that.
Time.
You should see my projects, man. Like, oh my God, I am the worst at that because maybe, okay, even though I know most people won't notice, I still have to do it for myself. Like, editing out certain exhales or clicks, or like you can hear someone swallowing or something. Like, I got to edit those out. And then on top of that, too, I try and level audio all the time. So, like, oh, that little spot, cut that little clip, raise that by like 4 gain. And then this little clip, 1 gain. And then I just get really nitpicky. And I'm sure if I did the same thing, people would be like,
so just so the audio is like just kind of nice.
You want it to have it pretty smooth. You don't want to have like all these crazy, at least not with like, with certain
I must be a
voiceovers,
nightmare
right?
then, Mr. Fruit.
In music, it's okay to have these, level differences. But when you're just kind of talking, like when I do a video, when I'm talking, you don't want to have like sudden volume changes that are like so drastic that people are just like, oh God, why? And then it just goes back to normal for no reason.
Yeah. So, but some of the problem, like for me, I can't avoid that sometimes. But some of the stuff is like, all right, we'll be recording, and then you're talking, and then they're like talking back like this. So then during those clips, I have to raise it when they're talking farther away, or like make certain changes. Yeah. Probably at the end of the day,
no one cares.
Yeah, the insane amount of extra time I spend, no one would notice.
No one notices. No one cares.
When I do my cuts, for instance, especially let's say it's like a Destiny video or a Call of Duty video or something. If I'm talking and it stops and it picks back up, or I stop talking and I want to cut, but right before I do, it's like I respawn. So it goes from a death screen to me like falling down, respawning, and it's a quick cut. I will move the entire footage just a hair so that the clip ends before it transitions to the other one, so it's less jarring.
Yeah, so it's a cleaner cut.
Time. Yeah,
I do that with some TTT stuff sometimes. I will actually like shift people talking just a little bit here and there, just to kind of line up certain clips, or I'll even like mute certain bits of conversation just to make it flow a little bit better. Yeah, I do the same thing.
Yeah, when I edit, I do right click and it says default transition, and that's what I click, and then it just default transition.
I will do that for a lot of stuff, but yeah, for stuff like that, I'll try to make it less jarring for sure.
What I do a lot of times too that most people won't notice, because that's the idea, but conversations and especially jokes, when we have them, I'll specifically cut them so they land quicker, or like somebody didn't hear you. Or maybe something was said funny right here, but then in the middle there was somebody else talking, and then here.
Me always.
Yeah, cut this, move it over here so it works, or like move it so it's not a jump cut anymore.
I appreciate that so much.
I do the same thing.
Every single time someone is, you guys will always, never fails, after the fact that the video is recorded, like I'll hit a joke and you guys would not even like no response, nothing. I'd be like, oh, well, shit, I guess it didn't work. And then literally a week later, this happened so many times I can't even count. You're like, dude, dude, Blue, you had like the Sherlock line that was like hilarious, and I was like, yeah, man, I would have appreciated if you noticed that like in person, but like...
Well, because sometimes it's like we'll be talking, or like I'll be saying something, and the problem too is like when I used to edit like Dream Teams, for instance, everyone would send me their own audio. But in Discord, if I'm talking, everyone else's audio kind of like falls. So sometimes I just miss stuff. But then I'm editing, I was like, I'll like delete, like I would delete mine and Rob's audio at that point. Just be like, yeah, get Blue's joke in there because that was great.
Yeah.
Or like vice versa, and we just missed it in the moment. And there's always stuff like that.
Danielle did the same thing, like literally one of the first times I ever played with her, and she was like, yeah, this Buzz Lightyear, or Datto told me, she's like, yeah, Danielle was like, yeah, this Buzz Lightyear joke is hilarious, and I was like, yeah. No one responded to it in person. I didn't think it was funny.
It's like sometimes it just takes a little bit of time to process how good it was, and you don't really get it in the moment. But then when you're watching it back, you're just like, holy shit, that was actually so clever.
Or did you know, Blue?
And
Sometimes
you appreciate it so much more.
Sometimes I have to be experiencing like something else that's like fine. Like sometimes I like be sipping some red wine and having some filet mignon, and then I like, you know what? Blue's joke was actually pretty top tier.
I can't. It's like a shower thought. Like I don't know why I'm thinking about this, but
oh yes, acquired taste. Just not for everybody, but for me now. Yes,
as
delicious.
this Merlot 1824,
Chardonnay,
1824
perhaps.
Merlot.
I don't know.
We're going back.
Damn.
Can you imagine how much that?
Way back.
He's like, I always just pick a wild date whenever I try and pick wines.
200 years ago.
I don't ever drink wine. But
220 BC. Like, this thing's
That's
aged. This is great.
That's like an $8 million wine right there. Then
You've got to imagine to be more. 220
100
BC.
million.
I wonder what the oldest wine currently available is.
I'm
and how much it
actually
costs.
curious. Hold on,
Hey,
I'll
Jamie?
be Jamie for a second.
Yeah,
hey, Jamie,
I'll look it up.
let's have some Jamie interviews. We'll have an interview with the Jamie.
Oh my god, that's way older than I thought.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
1825, was I exactly right?
No,
No.
the
Okay, cool.
Kramer wine. I have no idea how to say that. Or Spire wine bottle dates back between 325 and 359 AD.
That just does not look good.
Jesus.
I mean,
like,
yeah, I'm
that's
sure
gone.
it'd be gross, but
The world's oldest unopened bottle of wine.
oh, what's the? Do you know what the oldest like open bottle of wine is?
Oh, I don't
When
know.
you open
I don't
it,
know
you
that
gotta
one.
just drink it. Like
That's true.
Oldest
Jeez, man.
drinkable bottle of wine.
that's disgusting. I wouldn't drink that.
Yeah,
Like even if you're
no.
like,
No,
"I'm
this
gonna drink
picture
it," I'll be
don't-
like, "Hey, no.
No, looking at this picture, you would probably die if you drank whatever is in there now. I don't know what happens to that after.
Like Indiana Jones, like in the Holy
79.
Grail, like something like that.
But yeah, no.
I'm not even into wines though, like at all. Oh.
I'm not into it
Hey,
either. My dad's
you know,
super into it. I got into it.
Really? He's all like, look at the vines,
Dude,
like or
He-
the legs, whatever they call it. Like
He's super into it, and I never clicked with me. I was like, yes, this is a nice
oh, nice wine.
red. That's all I got. It's red. It's white. That's it.
It's
Does he know how to pair stuff? Like he's like, ooh, this pairs well with. Like-
I'm sure he does. I don't know anything. Every single red wine I've tasted is like, oh yes,
butts?
red.
Christian's father seems like the kind of guy.
Good.
Who would-
My mom and dad are into wine, but the
Okay.
thing too is like my mom does it especially too, and I was gonna start doing it because my family has cholesterol issues. I was gonna get ahead of it, and if you drink like 4 ounces of red wine a day, it's supposed to be really healthy. I can't even get through 4 ounces, man. I just can't do it.
It's tough. It's tough to drink. I can barely sip it. Like I'll have a
you
little
can't
sip
dunk
in
it
there.
though. Like
No,
what it
that's-
says.
I
You
was
can't
like-
dunk wine.
All right, 4
No.
ounces. I can.
Yeah.
I didn't get 2
You
days.
can't
You have
slug
to
it.
sip.
at all.
Yeah,
Can't
not my
slug
thing.
it.
No. But aside from all that, let's continue to the rest of the podcast. That was a nice opening. We learned a
A
lot.
nice,
a nice little
25-minute
30-minute intro.
opening.
Yeah.
You know what
I
else?
feel
is
like
good
that's how
for
the last
opening?
podcast went, or the original one that I was on. Was
We
just
did-
like we just
We-
started, and
we've
like an hour
embraced it at
later, we
this
were like,
point.
"Where are we?"
Yeah,
Right where
it's
we
part of it.
right where we belong. Just
You know
like
where else you guys belong?
oh, I know what you're gonna
Wait, you do it.
do. This ad read.
Oh,
Whoa. And welcome back to the GG Over Easy podcast. It's so great to have you back, either looking at us or listening to us, wherever your preferred platform is.
I have to read an ad. Nope. Review. Not.
That's
an ad,
right.
Review. You just listened to that.
30 minutes late, just on time as always.
Yeah, right on time.
Dude on a toilet rates the podcast.
Oh,
5 stars.
Don't you dare read the one I just did last week.
I was gonna see if you caught it.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, I was gonna see if you caught it.
Okay. Okay. So what's the next one there, Rob?
I don't know. Now I'm just scrolling down. I didn't plan for you to actually catch it. I was just gonna see if everyone would slip through the
That's what I like about you, Rob.
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
always ready.
You're on it.
The Muhammad Ali of podcasts says, "Drink water, dudes."
Oh,
Hey.
I have water right next to me.
Hydro homies.
I just ran out. I need to get more.
I have
Mazel tov.
deodorant next to me. Actually,
I was like, what is that?
Okay, you can't drink that, but
Wait, do you not always like stay strapped with water in your room, Rob?
I did. I was really good about having a water bottle, and then like at one point I left it at Christian's, and then I didn't see it for 3 weeks, and I just got really
I just can't. I need water next to me. Like it's like a
What do you
comfort
mean?
at this point.
What do you? That was like months and months ago.
That's what I'm saying. I fell out of habit then, like when I lost my water bottle for that 3
but
weeks.
can't you just go get another?
Yeah, right now we will continue the show. Go get water.
But
this is for you.
Go get water.
Go get water. You can read it when you get back. Go get water.
Back. Actually, you know what? You can find a review on your way to go getting water.
There you go.
He told us to drink water, and that's what you're gonna do. We're shaming him. Let that be a lesson, everyone listening. Stay hydrated. Do it.
You're
gonna thank yourself.
Cut down on the soda.
Your body will thank you.
True, it will.
You can always get what. Don't mind the brand. You could always get one of these. Literally, everyone asks, like, where'd you get that water bottle? Literally, one day I was like, I want a gallon water bottle. I go to Amazon, I put gallon water bottle. I bought the first thing. That's all there was to it.
Yeah. It's a giant water bottle. Like, what else is there to it? You know?
I have a huge gallon steel water bottle right now.
Blue has joined the gallon Hydro Homie race.
Nice.
My man. I used to
I don't
do
have one of those yet, but I will frequently go downstairs. See, I stay small, so that way I have to get out of my chair and go downstairs, go upstairs, go downstairs, go upstairs. So that way I'm not just like, I have a whole thing. I don't have to move.
I feel called out right now. What do you?
Well, you also work out considerably more than I do.
That's true. But drink one of these a day. The reason I did this was because I used to do like a 24 ounce. And so I know I had to like drink 4 or 5 of those a day. But I just noticed I wasn't drinking as much. And then just having it all here, though, was like, bob, bam, bob, boom. How's that water, Rob?
It's good. So
your body says thanks.
Yeah, it's already done. The Muhammad Ali of podcast says, drink water, dudes. This podcast is the greatest, all caps. They're 3 absolute gamers who will keep you on your toes while diving deep into topics that were not originally planned to talk about. I kind of like how we just from games to hot takes on anime and much more. You never know what kind of tangent the dream team will end up on, but if there is one thing you can expect every time is one hell of a ride. 11 stars. Keep it up, guys.
Oh,
that's a lot of stars.
Thank you.
Only 11 though. I feel like we got to be a little higher by now, right?
I mean, we have been sticking to a good schedule lately, and
so Corona, we said no. It might be a little more scuffed, but we're continuing.
Year, right? Like 52 is technically a year of episodes, right? Because there's 52 weeks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Although, like I said, I think we've missed. I want to say like 3 weekends, but in the grand scheme of things, that's not bad. I would say for us.
Yeah.
Blue, all right, Blue. I have a social experiment for you in particular. When Datto joined the call, we noticed something about Mr. Fruit.
Oh.
What I want you to do is look at Mr. Fruit and tell me if you notice anything new, different, or anything that speaks to him about his image in particular that you think looks different or new about him.
My God, you didn't notice? Oh my God.
Actually combed your hair.
Well, that was, I actually thought he got a haircut today too. So
for the record, I don't use a comb. I use my hand, a natural comb. 2.
Okay, we get it.
What they call it, a hand, nature's comb.
2, okay, you are the third person. So, fun fact, I got some meals today. I do like a meal prep. The person goes, "Did you do something new with your hair? Like, did you get a haircut or something?" I haven't done anything. I'm like, what? Why? Like, what's different? And then Datto, same thing. Now you said it.
I was just saying, you look sharp.
Well, thank you. But the thing is, I guess,
was thinking it's technically 4.
Because for me, this isn't new because I see this every day. But what generally happens is this is how it comes out fresh out of the shower. It looks a lot more clean.
Slick.
Yeah,
so
slick.
You took a shower for Datto for this podcast. That is so sweet.
Well, no, I worked out and then I was gross.
Just for Datto?
I didn't want you.
I appreciate that.
It was bad enough that you would be able to smell me through Discord. Like, I didn't want that. But so normally, like, this is how it always is. It's just that, like, normally by the end of the night or the next day, it's like more of like what you're used to seeing.
Yeah.
The more natural look. So that's one of the things, I guess, that Datto noticed. Anything else?
Mm-hmm.
You got any glasses?
Hey!
Got it.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Got it.
That's the biggest one. So well done.
Say goodbye to mind grades.
Well, actually, these things are killing me. They're actually giving me headaches right now because, as I'm sure Datto, well, it's been a while, so Datto might not remember. But every time you get new glass frames, they destroy your head. Like, well, one, it's already bad enough, like, because they're new, they're tight, and your head's not used to them. Like, they usually don't have the same, like, back ear or whatever. So it already kind of presses and it hurts, but then throw headphones on those all day, and then it's just compounding on that. I would really have to take them off and put on my old glasses for like a break to break them in.
For me, it was also literally just having new lenses, because when I got these, it had been maybe about 5-6 years since I got a new prescription for my lenses. So when I put them on for like 3 days, sometimes it was like, and just having to adjust to the new glasses can be tough. Yeah.
They felt like drunk goggles. Like back when I had to
sometimes,
put those in high school when I first got these and then the other pair, it's like, takes a little while to get used to. But yeah, I've had the same pair. I was about the same way for like 5 years, and I'd totally forgotten how bad it was. And now I'm just...
It surprised me how bad my vision got, like, when I went. Because I was like, I'm wearing glasses. Like, how much more terrible is my eyesight? Like, how much could it possibly get worse? And then I went to the optometrist, and they're like,
Jesus,
here's how much worse it's gotten. I was like, oh no.
Wow,
I'm gonna be
bad.
blind soon. It's real bad. It's not good. It's not good.
I am actually very fortunate.
Oh.
Because Datto usually knows, like, and anyone else that has vision problems, most people can go to the optometrist like every 5-6 years, whatever. Like, it's not a big deal. But for people that have vision problems, you should be going at least once a year. And I had been until I went to college, and then I was my own man, and I just forgot. So literally fast forward like 5-6 years until a couple weeks ago, where I finally go to get them checked out. I'm fortunate enough that they said my vision's almost changed none. Yeah, and I was especially considering the past 5-6 years have been this as my job. I was like, oh God, I'm gonna go in. He's like, you got like 3 days before you're blind.
Yeah, like your eyeball is about to fall out. Like you made it just in time.
And they did like X-rays on my retinas. They did everything, and they're like, yeah, nothing's really changed. I was like, really?
Good.
I was happy.
I remember the one instance where I knew, I was like, I really think I need to go back to the eye doctor, was I was watching a Marvel movie on IMAX, and I was having trouble seeing things. And I was like, if I'm having trouble like spotting details on an IMAX screen, maybe it's me. Maybe it's me.
Started to think it's me.
You're like, well, look at that green smudge go. They're like, go Hulk. You're like, what?
That's
so I was like, that's maybe we need to go back. Yeah. So
okay, so
that was the indicator for me.
I have kind of I don't think it's a stupid question, but you guys may think it's a stupid question. I just have never had
glasses. This is my favorite part of the podcast.
I just have never had glasses, so I don't know.
Consider yourself fortunate.
Okay. Did you... All right.
Here, wait.
I'm trying to phrase this without making me sound stupid.
Before you ask it, I'll just note, like what Datto just said. Imagine, you know that feeling when you locked yourself.
See?
Yeah, you locked the keys in your car and you couldn't get them. Right? Imagine you have that feeling anytime you don't have your glasses. Like, literally, you cannot function without these things, and if anything happens to them, you're boned. And then you also don't realize how important they are until they're broken and you don't have anything else. And then you're like...
And you have to literally drop everything you're doing, and your entire life will revolve around getting new glasses.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
do you guys have like a memory of first trying on glasses, or does your first memory like you have glasses on? You know what I mean? Like, did you always have don't like did you always have glasses on? You know what I mean? Like, was there one point where you just like, I can't see mom and dad? Like,
I understand what you mean. I got my glasses, I think, in 4th grade. So I've had them for a pretty long time. And I don't think like I can't remember any sort of like a catalyst that was like, oh man, I really need to get glasses. Like I was still so young and I just kind of didn't really know any nuances to having glasses or anything like that, other than just like, oh, when I put these on, I can see better. So I don't really remember
when you put them on. Just like it was like, whoa, like I need.
It was like that for when I got these. It was literally like that when I got these. I was like, oh my god, what am I? Why did I wait so long?
You're like,
but yeah, I don't remember any particular thing during like when I first got them in 4th grade or whatever. That was like, oh wow, this is a revolution. But I also just don't remember a lot of stuff from just back then in general.
I forgot they don't teach it in public education, but people with eyesight just come out of the womb with glasses. I thought you knew this. Like,
man, he's born.
He's
Nice
they just slap him on as soon as you're born. Just
like how bad is it? Like it's pretty rough.
Like,
they're like, okay, and how many am I holding up? Very good, very good. Okay, and no, I can't. I don't really
like your first memory. Did you have glasses on? Like
I mean, I got them pretty early. So like, and plus to me, like I don't remember any. I've had them for as long as I know, so I don't even think about whether or not I have them. I've just always had glasses. Because I think I told this story either in an earlier GG Easy or the Legacy. I don't really know. But the story was, I want to say I was like 3 or 4 or something. And they had me watching TV. But they come in and notice that I'm watching it really weird. And by really weird, and they're like, maybe something's wrong with him. I'm like a foot away from the screen, except I am to the left of it. So the screen is about like a 90-degree angle to my right. And I'm looking out of the corner of my eyes watching it. And they're like, that's not normal. And that's when they went in and I got my glasses.
Stuck some glasses on you.
No. So I would have loved to know what I saw for those first like 3-4 years.
I'm sure my parents have like some sort of story that's like similar to that. It was like, yeah, we noticed that you were just like sitting really weird and squinting a lot. And they're like, you know, you're not supposed to like squint all the time, right? Like that's not how you see. And so they went to take me to get glasses.
But that's the crazy thing.
This is way better.
I would have never known, right? Like that's all I had known up until that point. Like I guess this is just how it is. This is how everyone works. So yeah, I don't really have a distinct memory. I've just had them for a while. That's all I know. And
you'd wear glasses?
Sometimes.
Oh. I think I mentioned this too. It's so hard to tell. I talk with different people. We do the podcast. Does anyone else feel like that? Because I feel like I'm always like
all the time.
Yeah, you're talking to somebody like, did I tell you this? No. I'm like, I could have sworn. It's like that with the podcast.
I do that all the time on stream. I was like, I'm sure I've told this story before because I only have about 4 good stories in my entire life. So I'm sure I've told this one. So sorry if I have.
They're like, it's all right. We love this one. This is a good one. Yeah. I was going to say, for the longest time, I couldn't figure it out. When I take off my glasses, though, I can...
What the fuck?
I know. I can... Okay, so like I can vaguely focus them.
Who are you?
I can't read anything in Discord. I can't read text.
You can't?
I from right here, I can't read any of this text. It's all blur.
So like
that's so wild to me.
If I wanted to, I could guess what I'm seeing, but I can kind of focus them and like you're not just blurs. And I always tried to figure this out because when I used to go,
you actually look like a straight dad with your glasses off. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
I look like a straight what?
Like you look straight up like a dad, dude.
But is that a good thing? Like
I can't describe it. You straight up look like a dad.
I'm gonna show you. How
I just always seen you with glasses, so when you take your glasses off, it's just like odd. Like
I'm gonna show you how close I need to get in order to read. Stream remote is enabled clearly on Discord. Ready?
Okay.
Oh my god.
For
the
audio
audio
listeners, he's
listeners,
extremely close.
He's like not even an
awkwardly close.
inch. I love
I'm
how it's like
upsettingly close.
right there. Yeah.
See, like I'm not like bad. Like if I stare at something and I just kind of lose concentration, that's when things will kind of get blurry to me. But like if I'm focused and attentioned on stuff, like I can read clearly.
No,
That's
so
crazy.
Must be nice.
but what I figured out is not everyone can do that has vision problems. And so I was like, what the heck is it? Because like when we used to go skiing, I couldn't wear my glasses. So I'm essentially writing down blind, but instead I could like focus my eyes a little bit so I wasn't just straight up blind, but it would give me terrible headaches.
Yeah.
And so for the longest time,
I just got goggles that were big enough to fit over the glass.
Oh, see, that's the play. But can you do that with your eyes, Datto? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, sort of, just not very well.
Well,
like you just focus super hard on something very specific.
Apparently it has to do with farsightedness. Because apparently the problem with farsightedness is my doctor tried to explain it to me because I had a Rob moment. I was sitting in there. I was like, okay, dumb question. I was like, I don't know if people bring... I can like focus my eyes. He's like, yeah, that's totally normal for farsighted people because apparently the light rays, whatever, when they come into my eye, they miss, like, let's say this is the pupil or whatever the fudge it's supposed to be hitting back there, the retina.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The light essentially comes and misses. It just goes to the left and right of the retina.
Ooh,
but when I focus my eye, I'm focusing that light into the retina.
Mm-hmm.
And so I get brief vision help, but that's what I have the glasses for. They're helping focus the light into my retina, which otherwise I guess farsightedness wouldn't do. But he told me that and I was like, huh, the more you know.
Yeah.
I thought I had superpowers. As a kid, I thought I had superpowers. Because I was like, if I unfocus, I can see two of my hands. I was like,
2 hands.
I was like, oh my God.
I mean, I can do that. So I get glasses?
Yeah. No, but you should go get your eyes checked regardless.
Yeah, anyway. But it's just double vision. Yeah. It's the fact that like look at okay, put your finger up.
I don't wear glasses, man. I look like a nerd.
Okay, yeah. Now close your right eye.
Okay.
You see where the fingers?
Oh, hold on.
And close your left eye.
Don't laugh at me when I close my right eye, okay?
What? You can't.
Can
okay,
you not?
What?
Okay, but you see where it is right now, okay?
Not with my right eye, no. I can't with my left.
Okay, now close your left and open your right simultaneously. You see how it's moved?
Yes.
That's what's happening when you see double. It's because your eyes are... So if you unfocus and you focus something in the distance, your eyes are now set on that. That's why you see double.
Yeah.
Your eyes are lagging.
Yeah, more or less.
IRL.
They have ping issues?
Yeah.
They have ping issues, exactly.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
But it's because
one has
like
20 ping, one has like 5.
Sort of.
You have the right idea.
Nice. I'm on it.
If both of your eyes have bad ping, like it
but
should be
if I
like
see
0 ping.
Double
and,
hands. I don't have to go get my...
That's completely
glasses.
normal.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, it's just...
It freaked me out for a second. I was like, why do I have to get glasses?
Think of like when you have a camera with a shallow depth of field, right? Whatever you're focusing on is in focus and like the background's out of focus, right? The same thing your eyes are doing.
So like right now I'm kind of focusing on you, but Datto right now I kind of just see his outsideness. You know what I mean? I just see his like
my outsideness.
I mean,
I just see
it's a little bit different because it's still on the same same plane.
I mean, your peripheral vision.
Yeah, that's just your peripheral. So what I'm saying is your eyes are currently focused 3 feet in front of you. Yeah. So we're all on the same screen though. So we're on the same plane, horizontal plane. So me here and Datto here, even if you only see him in peripheral, he would still be in focus because you're focused on this horizontal plane, which is 3 feet in front of you. But so like 5 feet behind you, you're not focused on. So that's going to be for a camera out of focus, or for us, you might see that double vision. It'll be out of focus, but you obviously don't notice that as much because you can't continue to focus on something and shift. Like the way you could take a photo and look at the out of focus. If you move your eyes, obviously, you're going to move your
wonder if
focus.
anybody out
It
there
just becomes
looks-
in focus.
If it's just always in focus for everything, like when for their
What
eyes. Is that 2020 vision? If it's always super like focused.
No.
Oh.
2020 just means you don't have any of those seeing near or farsighted. Like your eyes are working.
What does that
really
mean? 2020, like
You have
what are
2020.
the you're 20 out of 20, like you score 20 out of 20 or something?
2020.
No, because you can go
2020
higher or
No.
lower.
Yeah.
But 2020 means you're perfect though.
Well,
2020, I
those are
imagine,
two
is
different
like
numbers.
perfect or normal vision.
Anything
And then
lower than 2020, you need glasses.
Yeah.
Those are two numbers, by the way. It's not like 20 out of 20. You have a 20.
Yeah, it's
like
not like
left
a
eye's
score
20.
on your report card.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you could have like 1820,
Yeah.
3017,
You got, like,
whatever. Like,
2010,
yeah,
25.
Is Christian like
Yeah.
-2.5? Like
I actually got
pretty
him
bad.
to. Yeah, I got him to finally write it down for me somewhere. I don't know where it is.
oh, you
Like a-
forgot?
I'm like a
I never looked
minus
at it.
6 or 7 in my left eye and like a minus 4.5.
Oh, there
in my
are
right.
negatives? I was totally capping.
Yeah, well, that's mainly for like my lenses. I don't know what my exact like 20 like vision is, but all I know is that up to a certain point, they stop making contact lenses for you, and I'm
I had the
approaching
same problem.
that number. I'm getting there.
Do you have a astigmatism in either eye?
I don't think so, but I don't actually know.
That's what
couldn't tell you.
my left eye has one, and that's why it's just
Yeah,
that's why everything's jacked up. Like my right eye isn't as bad, but that's why I have like such thick glasses, is because it's compensating for my left, but then the right can't just not be thick. Like it'd look weird.
yeah.
So it doesn't have a strong of a prescription, but my left eye is lagging behind. It's like
Yeah,
100
lagging.
ping. Yeah. It's like
Feels
connecting to Europe on West Coast. Like it's just
Yeah,
I hate to
sucks.
see it.
it's game
Sucks.
over. So anyway, that was the change, Blue. Well done.
Oh
found-
yeah, that's where we started.
you found Waldo. Congratulations.
Congrats.
I didn't notice, but proud of you.
That's okay. Gaming
I don't
news.
know what we're talking about.
I was going to bring it up a little while ago because we were talking about, well, it's kind of poignant that we were talking about lag, because we go back to lag when we were talking about the Nintendo Switch and Smash. And then we talked about, I'm trying to tie it in because at the time I was going to say something, but then someone else said something, so we just missed it. But it fit in really well.
Okay.
Talking about Nintendo Online and how they never invest into online or the competitive scene. Well, maybe now it's a good thing because as we've been seeing, among other communities, the Smash community is on fire
Jesus.
right now.
Oh my god.
It's the house is burning down.
no.
It's a purge. It's
bad.
I mean, we
Dude,
It's
haven't
real bad. Like I thought Destiny got bad, and that's bad.
I mean, yeah, I honestly thought what we saw with
People.
pieces
Yeah.
of shit who will not be named.
yeah, we don't need to
I thought it was bad, but oh my god, the Smash community is easily the worst I've
and the
ever
stuff
seen
that's coming out is like
of all the stuff I've seen. Yeah,
Insane.
the stuff I've seen is like, I actually got like super emotional because a lot of these people I legit grew up with watching.
Yeah.
So it's like with Destiny community, it was like, yeah, fuck that piece of shit. They deserve it. But then you go to Smash community, it's like, wait a minute, these people have been part of my life.
yeah,
This
hold up.
sucks.
Yeah.
There's just like big holes now in that community, man. Like
Huge
of like
holes.
content holes, man. That
'Cause
Like,
I mean-
literally the biggest creators in that community
Yeah.
are not in the community anymore. It's just crazy
Yeah.
to see, like literally the cornerstones of the community just not there anymore. It's just it's crazy.
Like,
Crazy.
we don't have to name drop, but Smash 4's #1 player of all time broke records. Gone. Top 3 player in Ultimate, gone.
Well,
Um,
and then the best brawl player gone.
Yeah, best brawl player, gone. And then on top of that, just content creators, bigger ones, gone. Like, not just like some normal, like, oh, I've heard of that guy, or like, oh, it's like, no, this dude, like
Yeah.
at the top of this community, and it all comes out, and it's like, because for those that aren't aware, we haven't really talked too much about this. Recently, the way I would put it is the gaming community is having their Me Too movement. That's how some people are putting it, and I think it's a fair way to surmise it, and as few amount of words as possible. Started 3-4 weeks ago, ironically with the Destiny community. Someone came forward about somebody, and then more people opened up, and then from there it kind of opened the gates for everybody else in the gaming community.
Shockwave.
And
seriously, it's crazy.
Everyone's telling their stories, and you're just like, I just, I'm reading it. It's like, what's wrong with people? Some of the stuff, I will say some of the stuff is more on the tame side, where it's like, I can see the understanding it's not malicious, but then there's maybe there's something, but
like
the
bad
Smash community.
Just toxic, bad relationships, but yeah.
But then there's stuff that there was some Destiny stuff, other game, and the Smash community stuff, and you read it and you're just like, oh my.
Well, I don't.
That's jail time. That's
that
not
that's generally criminal offense.
So the new stuff that's coming out in the Smash community, like the whole house thing and stuff like that, I never knew about any of that.
Me either.
Whenever I just knew him as like a personality in that community, I wouldn't say because I don't think he ever competed or anything. I just kind of knew he would just kind of kept up to date about it, and reading all those stories are crazy.
Yeah, man. So it's just gross. It's just, I mean, I didn't feel explicitly oh, that's disgusting. I mean, I obviously right. It's most of the stuff, especially in the desk community, was oh, that's gross. That's disgusting. But nothing made my skin crawl like the stuff in the Smash community. I genuinely felt sick to my stomach. The stuff that I read.
I literally thought they were having a LAN tournament or something. When I saw them trending, I saw Smash community, and I was like, "Oh!"
I woke up and I'm like, "Oh my!"
Well, and this and Evo now, Evo is completely 100% canceled too.
I always wanted to go to that. Now I'll never get the chance.
Well, it's no. Well, we don't. I think just this year is canceled. I don't know. I hope it's not over, because Evo is so important to the fighting game community.
I mean, I agree.
Yeah, it's so important, and there's no other event like it. But I certainly hope it's not over. But yeah, I mean, that's canceled because of all the allegations against
the CEO.
To lose your CEO is I mean,
dude does look like a slug, though. I'm gonna be honest.
But it's just reading some of these stories. It's first off, why? What's even going on in your head? Too, it's just why? Just be a decent human being. At what point did
why?
I don't either.
Half
it's
of this
so difficult
stuff
to do that.
I just can't get in the headspace.
I mean, I hate to be just the voice of reality here, but when we are not meant to be these huge influencers, right? 10 years ago, oh, you play video games for a living? Wow, cool. Loser.
Yeah,
but now
I
it's
was beating up kids on 360. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but now it's oh wow, you're a content creator and you have a huge reach, and
you play Fortnite?
You play Fortnite? Rob dab, floss. But
how many cash cups have you won?
What was once this silly thing now has given people these huge egos, and power gets to people's heads, and they think they can do anything.
Facts.
It's the only way I can see it, because when you look at all these stories, it's everything these people are doing is from places of power, thinking they can get away with things. So it's God, it's just wild to me. So many people would use the platform they've been given as an opportunistic thing to get something from other human beings in the way that they have. It's just really
it's just a gross abuse of power.
Yeah. Exactly.
I've never understood why people would rather be feared than revered.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. If you're gonna be known for stuff, why not make it something that's not gonna come bite you in the ass one day potentially? Yeah. Why not be known for the good stuff, or even just neutral stuff, right? Just be I don't understand. I've never understood. I will never understand.
I think a lot of people are just victims of the moment, and just let their just stupid head take over in stupid moments, and just let them make a stupid ass decision.
Well, here's stupid. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I'm not gonna sit here and say that I've done everything perfectly, but just like to the level of the stuff that I've seen, like the Smash community, like that's not even in the same universe of thought.
I mean,
that's
all that is like straight up. You should be in jail. You should be tried
100%.
for all this. Like,
it's just the core concept of exploiting another human being in that way is just like, who raised you to think that
or like what went wrong
in general? Because I mean, like, obviously the Smash community stuff is on a whole different tier of what the fuck, but the fundamental idea is to just get something you want from another person in that way is just, God, man.
I hope this just isn't some like weird big elephant in the room and kind of thing, and like we can truly like move on, or like the Smash community can truly move on and like get rid of all like that toxic shit and just kind of really move on and make a community that like Datto said, like not to be feared, but like people want to be revered for like the good things and stuff like that.
Leffen,
Leffen's awesome.
Leffen said it perfectly, and it applies to everything with this movement. Is that as much as it sucks to see all this happen, it's a good day for these communities because you're taking out all these people that exploit people, and it might suck because, man, like these are people that are part of the community, and like, man, how bad is this community really? Like deep down, like what other people have been exploited in these ways? Like what other survivors can't even tell their story yet? But it's ultimately a good day because there's less of these people in the communities that we inhabit.
I know, like when a lot of that stuff. Sorry, you go.
Well, I just wanted to say for everyone listening too, we don't mean to downplay the other stuff that's happening. Like everything else that's come out, like in the Destiny stuff, like that was terrible.
It was bad.
That needs to be heard. Absolutely.
And it's all important. It's just like we're just saying that the level of the stuff we're seeing from the Smash is just like blowing us away
on another one.
Literally,
but like everything we're hearing is important. All stories are important. I just want to like be clear about that.
Yes. Yeah. No, I know like when all that stuff started coming out, like all I was doing for like a couple of days was just thinking about every single interaction I've had with someone for like the past 5 years.
Yep.
Every conversation that I could possibly remember, every single little thing that I could have done, any gesture, like anything that I could have possibly done that might have upset someone. I was like,
yeah,
I have to go message. I messaged 2 people like within the first 2 days being like, I don't know if this upset you. If it did, I'm sorry. I never meant to do that. Fortunately, both people were like, I never felt threatened by you. And I was like, that's probably pretty fair call because I mean, look at me. I'm a wet spaghetti noodle. But
hey, but you're a wet spaghetti noodle catch, my friend.
And also for you to even be thinking about that is more than what the people like the abusers ever even thought, right?
Yeah.
They're like
just being, because like sometimes you just don't know how you're coming across in the moment. I know I've definitely said like some things that like are like borderline are like, all right, maybe like stop.
Yeah.
But
all right, strike like, 3, we're out. All right, I'll see you later. Like,
I definitely wanted to go like message those people in particular and just be like, if I did something that upset you, I never meant to, come across that way or anything like that, and I apologize and all that kind of stuff to like, really make sure that I don't want to upset people, at least not in that way. Like if you want to get mad at me for my opinions on Destiny, like go right ahead, I don't care. But like that kind of stuff is a no-go.
Well, but what you did is super important because I mean what everyone should be doing right now is asking like how can they be better? Because not everyone's perfect, right? I mean, nobody here is perfect, but regardless,
right? Look at Mr. Fruit.
Whether exactly
put on his headphones.
What?
Look at that guy. But we should all.
He's pretty close to perfect.
The most important thing the most important lesson is asking how can everyone be better?
Right.
Well, the thing too that's been rough for me is seeing everybody that's done this. I don't really think I've told many people, and I don't really want to go into details. But when I was growing up, a really big person in my life that I looked up to, we had a falling out, and turns out he was a pedophile and did all this illegal stuff. And I didn't find out until later. But he had an abuse of power and everything that he was involved in. He's actually in jail now. but seeing something like that,
so wild, dude.
I have a very similar experience.
Yeah.
He was like a big like figurehead in the community too. Like it was like.
I mean, I was like friends with him for.
He was a family friend of ours.
Yeah.
He was like my stepmom like knew his family and like all that kind of stuff.
Like 7 years. And so that's always sat with me. That was never easy. And it also affected some of my relationships and stuff. It had a big ripple effect for me. So I know how all that feels like seeing people like that, and then like what everyone's feeling right now with like the Smash community, and thinking you know somebody, and then you're like, you were doing this the whole time, like, and
you don't know these people, like you don't, not to make it weird or anything, like you don't know us either, right? Like we all have our own little things that, you know, make us not these perfect beings. And so you got to be careful with who you follow, right? Just, you know, you don't know a lot of these people as well as you think you do, right? You might think, but you know, you're only seeing what people want you to see, at least, you know, on YouTube videos, on live streams, on Twitter, stuff like that, right? You're only seeing that very focused vision, you know, probably somewhat business focused as well. And you just gotta be careful. You can't put everyone on a pedestal like that. Can't do it. Cannot do it.
So
not
hard.
even Mr. Fruit.
Yeah, I mean, don't idolize
I'm not
people
telling
you
anybody.
don't know, right? But it's I mean, that's just, it's so hard because these people are like oftentimes you can feel like, oh, these people are with me because like literally my favorite YouTuber in the world of all time, literally grew up with this dude, was part of that.
Oh, I know you're talking about
users, and it's just like. It's so hard, and I was guilty of it too, right? Of idolizing someone because I was like, oh, I want my content to be like this person, but it's just
it's hard though because like you can idolize like idolizing like Recful or someone like that because then like they can like it's just sad because there's a lot of different kind of
sucks.
Yeah,
it's been rough.
Because like it's good that you can idolize the right people. You can like I mean I don't think you. I think you can have certain kind of heroes and certain kind of people. I don't think it's bad to I don't think it's bad to certainly look at somebody and say like, what kind of characteristics does that person have that I can apply to myself that I think like is a good thing. I think that's what we should try and do instead of like particularly like putting this person on this perfect kind of pedestal, and instead like maybe find what you like about that person and trying to apply it to yourself instead of just that kind of thing.
Well, like Datto said, it's nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
So it's one thing like to see what you see. For all you know, for a lot of people, it, you know, is a fake front. But like, if that's what you take away from it, and you can realize that the part that you're seeing you like, and not taking that and then just being like, oh, this part, this must mean A or B. Like they're this perfect person. I should be like this. It should be like I like this about them, or they do this correctly. I don't know the rest about them. But yeah, it's dangerous to just make a sweeping anything on somebody and just being like, this is where they stand. They're amazing.
Yeah.
Unless
I mean,
it's
I think
me.
That's what everyone, I think that's where everyone needs to work on. Like, it's just hard because it's hard not to idolize people who are part of your day and part of your experience and part of what makes you who you are. Because it's just rough, man.
Yeah, there was, I forget when they did it. Appa is driving me crazy. I had to move him out of my office because I have a little doorstop right here. And it's almost dinner time. So he's sitting there like to get my attention. So I moved him out, and now he's just doing it right outside my door with another one. And so I'm just sitting here.
He's like so smart. He really is. Like,
it's driving me insane. Anyway, oh god, I lost track. What did I say?
Sweeping generalizations.
Sweeping generalizations. Rob said, take the good parts of people instead of fully idolizing them. I was like, it's hard because these people are part of your lives.
Oh, yes. There was like, I forget exactly, but some social media people did a look into like influencers in the way that like literally their influence on somebody. And they compared celebrities to like YouTubers. And I think at the time, I'm not going to try and quote specific. He did it again. I'm not going to. Yeah, I heard it quote specific percentages, but it's roughly like influencers had at least double the influence on somebody than an actual celebrity. So like if a celebrity's like advanced GG, I love it. So like 10 out of 100 people are like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, sure. But if YouTuber did, like 30 out of 100 people, or like 25 would be like, yeah. And their best explanation for it, or extrapolation from what they were gathering, was the fact that, like you guys mentioned, we and other influencers and people we watch and stuff, they're there every day. Yeah. You get like a look, even if it's not the same, but you get a different kind of connection with an influencer that shows you more of their life or their day to day, or like live streaming. Like literally, you know exactly what that person is doing at that moment. Like this is what they're doing. You're like hanging out with them in a sense, even if it's like a one way and you can like chat. You still feel like you have this deeper connection with this person than you would a celebrity, where it's like more disconnected. And so that's also why it can be so devastating, or like harder to not feel a certain way about somebody, just because, just like that. Like for me, I talked about it when Machinima Respawn broke up. I cried. I like never cry, but it literally felt like I was losing friends, because I'd watched them daily for years, and then I was like, I'm not going to see him as much. Like it felt like I lost somebody. So I can see, like with some people, you know, like it feels that way sometimes. Like you're peering into their life, and it's like a weird in between of not quite a friend, but not a stranger.
Dude, it was, I truly didn't feel that way till Reckful passed away. And it was like, I was like crying a lot, and it was like, and I was like in a weird, so I was like, I don't even know this guy. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, I don't even really know him. But then I don't know. It was like the first time like I really felt that way, that like, I was like, I truly don't know how to feel. Cause it was like, I feel like I know who he was and stuff like that. But then I was like, but I don't know who he was. It was just really weird.
But like, you might not know who these people are, and you don't know them personally, but just watching them, like they become a part of who you are, and that's what makes it even harder. Because I mean, so much of our personalities are influenced by the people we watch.
Mm-hmm. My mannerisms, a lot of them come from people I watch, or my friends, or nice.
I know you guys all crossed your arms. Sounds like crossover.
So that was a bit of a heavier topic. We usually don't get to that heavy stuff, but
I like when we do that.
Sometimes you gotta.
Moral of the story is be better, because you're not just being better for yourself, you're being better for other people.
We're all gonna be better,
and it's really important.
Treat people with respect. Know what boundaries are. Get consent.
Like be revered, not feared.
Yeah, wear a mask. It's really just be a decent human being. That's the minimum threshold. Like what I was seeing when all this was happening, someone would be like, well, like, good on this person. Like, I haven't seen anything. Like, you shouldn't be praised for not sexually harassing somebody.
I have a story about that. Danielle was streaming, and she actually got a message from someone referencing back to like Guardian Con 2017. And she at first was like, oh no. And then the person messaged like immediately next, like, oh no, it's a good thing. She's like, okay. And it was just about how like I chilled near a lady who was locked out of her room. Like she was waiting to get a new card, or like waiting for her friend or something like that. So all I did was I just stayed in the lobby and I waited until she can get into her room. And then that was it.
Chivalry. And
she told this story on her stream, and everyone's like, King Datto, king shit right there. And I'm just like, is the bar this low that king shit is just like waiting nearby to make sure someone gets into their hotel room? Or is like that's where we're at?
That's just what a man does. Shit. Yeah.
Like I didn't want to say anything during the time, because like I didn't want to like ruin the little like moment or whatever. But like I'm just like, that's the bar now. Like
not being shitty.
Yeah, like just not being bad, like not even being good. It's just not being bad. That's the bar.
Yeah.
Give me a break, man.
We can do better. We can all do better. So acknowledge when someone's doing something right, but not if it's just not wrong.
Right. Like I don't want to be praised for neutral level like activity.
He held
Like,
the door
man,
open.
he ate that sandwich.
Yeah.
That's the equivalent. Like,
yo, Datto, you
shit,
paid
Datto.
that. You
Eat
paid
that
that electric
sandwich,
bill
dude.
so nice.
have a cup of
today.
that water. Right. You paid your bills.
Let's go,
Oh
dude.
man,
nice.
king
That
shit
utility
right
bill was
there.
paid. Like, you weren't
Give me
late
a
on that
break,
one.
man.
Well, in some more drama in the gaming community that isn't quite as heavy, we finally got some news after the whole Mixer drama about where one of their streamers is headed. No, nobody has doc news.
No
For those
one's got
unaware,
doc
Dr.
news.
Disrespect got banned off Twitch at this point.
Mega ban.
Yeah, like
Super
It's he's
banned.
got to be
Permaban.
going somewhere.
and it came out of nowhere. It was like 2.5 weeks ago. And the thing too is this all came at the peak of this like gaming Me Too movement, or when it was like really starting to pick up. And nobody still knows what happened. And considering it was a permaban out of nowhere, people are like, this has got to
Refunded
be
subs.
bad.
Yeah, that's what like is.
It's not like, oh, he's like, yeah, if you were a sub, you were refunded. Like, he's just gone. We still have no word. And so there's a whole bunch of drama there.
Probably a gag order.
Yeah,
Like,
plenty
no
of conspiracy theories. The conspiracy theories are pretty funny. But we'll actually see what it is. I mean, obviously, I hope it's not something like legally
Sinister.
serious.
Yeah, just like evil or something.
It would be.
like,
I would prefer if it was like, oh, he's moving to Facebook and they bought him out, but he breached contract or
Right.
Like-
yeah. Something just like
Ideally, it's
all
not.
right,
He was a pedophile, and here's the proof.
Yeah.
So we can only hope. But again, we're in limbo. We have no idea what to know, and the fact that it seems like it's a gag order or something, like something's happening. Go ahead, Blue.
I mean, the fact that it's become such like a silent topic from both sides just shows me that it's something severely legal. I think
super legal.
I think it's pretty clear at this point both parties have some serious lawyer
Well,
action going on, and when
Lawyered up.
two parties are this silent over something this serious, people are lawyered up. Nobody's
yeah, but I don't
talking.
think that necessarily means it's criminal. It could just
Oh, no,
be
no, no, no.
like
We don't really know the
we don't
specifics.
know.
Yeah,
We don't know.
It could be as like something as small as like breaching a contract in
Yeah.
an inappropriate way, or as big as like
Yeah.
he
Jared
murdered-
from Subway. Like
You don't know, right?
Yeah. And so the thing too is it's such a big story though too, because one of the biggest streamers out of nowhere, silence, and then it's just like
the way
whispers
his
and like
stream ended, like the way
there's like you look at how his stream, people are like trying to extrapolate, like at this moment the cops came in or something, or like this moment he knew people are dissecting that. I mean, it's fun to follow, and it's going to be interesting to see when it all breaks. I mean, I was of the nature at first, I was like, this might just be Doc doing like a publicity thing. Like
Doc stuff, yeah.
Doc
yeah, I was
being
like, this
Doc.
might just be him pulling an Omega. But at this point, I'm thinking, I'm leaning towards this ain't a stunt anymore. Like something's happened. But aside from that, we don't know where Doc is. However, since the Mixer implosion, Ninja and Shroud, notably the biggest Twitch streamers,
aka Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
who went over to Mixer, got bought out for a lot of money. Once Mixer blew up, Facebook offered them double the original contracts, which for Ninja was somewhere around 60 million. Doubled, like that is with the double. And for Shroud, something like 20 million or something. And they denied it, instead just took the buyout. So they just got a measly 30 million and 10 million,
That's no big deal.
Yeah, it must be hard, You stream for what, like 6 months on Mixer? It's not bad. But so then they haven't streamed. They've been silent. We didn't know where they were going to go. Ninja yesterday, as of the recording, revealed and went live. He moved to YouTube, which we mentioned. I think smart move.
I think it's a smart move too.
I don't think he's officially moved. I've heard he's like just streaming on YouTube as like an independent kind of YouTuber.
There's no
or like
way.
independent creator.
He knows his worth.
There's no way he's not waiting for people to buy him out.
So Slasher actually said, per my source, we have sources, yes. Slasher's Twitter.
My God.
He hasn't actually signed a deal with anyone yet.
Yeah,
Really?
And yesterday,
that's what I was reading.
And that stream was just him streaming on YouTube.
kind of like that's what I was thinking. Like he's showing like YouTube and like Twitch, like, yo, this is like, and that's why like I think when he went live, he put that like your little brother Ethan was like, oh, look at like the graphic he put up, and I was like, well, I think he's just put up that graphic to show like I put up this half-ass graphic. It had this many views, this many interactions, and stuff like that, and it's like he's using it as kind of like a contract negotiation thing.
See,
and then his wife also like was like posting the chat and was like, look at the chat go crazy. And I was like, this is so like
I mean, that's interesting because I would have figured people be fiending over him. Like
that. Well, I think they are, but I think this is just to kind of make more like.
But if that's the case and he goes live like that, I don't know. That seems a little weird. Maybe, yeah, it's like a flex move, and he's trying to be like, look, this is what's going to happen.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know
I wouldn't be surprised if people tried to undercut him because he's on Mixer, right? And I think on Mixer he averaged like what 2,000 to 3,000 viewers on Mixer.
Yeah.
So
that's like 99% of Mixer's viewers.
Yesterday he was like, oh my god,
over a million,
like
right?
160. Yeah, a million.
I think so.
No way.
He didn't have a million. I think
somebody was
like 250,000.
Really? Because I know they were talking about how like he was getting more views than Fortnite events, and for me on YouTube, I know those things are like millions.
Regardless, this dude got a ridiculous amount of viewers, and I would not be surprised. Exactly what Rob said. Like he's probably just trying to show, hey, this is a Mixer. This is how much reach I will give to your platform.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If there's a user base there, spoilers, I'll pull people.
And it's almost like a kind of a threat to Twitch that's like, yo, I just streamed on YouTube and this is what it was like. Now YouTube over here is like getting interested. Like, I don't have to go back to you. Like, because I won't go back to Facebook.
The story I spun for myself when I thought he'd signed YouTube. Like, I hadn't heard that news and seen him go live. I was like, oh, surely, all right, he must have signed. And my reasoning was he obviously didn't go to Facebook. I mean, if they're offering him that much and he chooses not to, he's certainly not going to do it again. I also think it's a smart move. Realistically, if you want to stand at big platforms, you got YouTube and Twitch.
Yeah.
But Twitch, famously, they had a big falling out when he left, and they had the whole, your streamer's in another castle. And they like changed his webpage to promote other people. And then on top of that, it promoted porn once accidentally. And so he's like, my brand image free. So I was like, maybe he's upset with Twitch. Maybe they can't come to agreement or something, or maybe he's just
that
like, you know what?
Surprise me at all. Like just the way that he left, it wouldn't surprise me if he ended up on YouTube. Plus I think YouTube's just like a smart move for him, just because like I'm sure his YouTube channel is still just kicking with whatever content that he's rolling, and just bringing in that ad revenue. It's
maybe it's not the biggest streaming platform, but I mean, YouTube is such a big social platform that it's just it's carved its own section out of the streaming space for itself.
And like, no disrespect to like people who like watch content on YouTube, or I'm talking maybe like in a live stream. It's definitely more like normie kind of Fortnite children friendly than I think Twitch is, for sure.
Yeah.
In the realm of watching a content creator, I definitely think it's more kid normie.
Yeah.
Well, there's still.
Which is definitely more his kind of audience, I think.
Yeah, that's true. But I think everyone's trying to chase what Twitch has, because really, aside from this, what is Twitch, right? Twitch is its community and its culture. That's what makes Twitch Twitch. And so people have always tried to replicate that. And until you can replicate that, where like suddenly you have your own inside memes and all this kind of stuff, it'll never be the same. YouTube has gotten better year over year, though, and I do think they're a serious contender. But if Microsoft, with its endless money, couldn't do it, it's like, who's going to join?
I think with Microsoft, the problem is Microsoft tried to buy culture. You just can't buy that. You have to make it. And I mean, I think YouTube knows this. I think YouTube is just too big to fail as a video platform. Which is why its streaming platform is still so successful.
Yeah. It doesn't really feel like YouTube and Facebook have their own culture. It just kind of feels like Twitch culture has sort of migrated and spread itself out to other platforms at the same time.
Until they have their own kappas and lols, and even just basic down to like global emotes like that everyone recognizes. they'll never hit that same thing. But I think
making good decisions, lol.
Yeah, they actually big news. I don't know if you've seen this, Datto. They're changing it from. So you probably notice most YouTubers you watch at least hit a 10-minute mark. I remember PewDiePie made a video about this, exploiting people, and I think he actually showed CNanner's channel. CNanners at the time was totally guilty of this. Like every video he made was 10 minutes, 1 second, 10 minutes, 1 second, 10 minutes, 1 second. And the reason is, as soon as you hit past 10 minutes, you can get mid-roll ads, which, to put it in perspective, a 9-minute video against a 10-minute video, the ad revenue can be 4 to 5 times higher because you win a minute.
Like I remember doing one where it's like I had an 8.5-minute video and a 13-minute video, and the 13-minute video made about, I want to say, 57% more money. So it's like, okay, you're telling me that if I manage to cram in another 1.5 minutes worth of content, that I can make 57% more money on a video.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You're thinking just doing shameless, just make the outro a minute, just shameless, like
if I have a video that's like 9 minutes and 50 seconds, I'll stretch the end a little bit.
Yeah,
if I have
you got to. Like what?
If I have something that's like 7 minutes long, I'm not stretching it to 10 minutes.
Well, 9 times out of 10, how often are they actually clicking in the outro video a video that's in that box? At that point, they've already clicked one that's on the side. Like,
probably,
at least I think.
Yeah. So I never appreciated it because like when I was seeing it on the outside, I was like, man, like that's so cheesy. Like I know what they're doing, but then you figure it out, and then I started doing my own content, and it's like, how are you going to fault somebody for that? Like you can't really. I mean, you could fault someone for like Datto said,
like shameless.
Yeah,
like 3 minute, 4 minute.
I forget what it was called, but people should go back and watch it. He did like a whole thing exposing people, but he had good insight onto the whole 10-minute thing. But I think he showed examples where it was like they had 4 minutes of content, and then it's just 6 minutes of garbage, or like straight up just like this is to fill to 10 minutes, and it's super obvious. Like that, I think is a problem. But like, gaming and stuff, you're editing it, and if you have the footage to go 10 minutes, why wouldn't you? But now they've changed it, or they're going to change it, I don't know when it goes live, to 8 minutes, which that 2 minutes might not seem like a lot, but it's going to do a lot for people. And so now if you can at least hit the 8-minute threshold, you're going to hit that mid-roll ad, which is the same kind of thing that the whole 10-minute thing was. So now you might be seeing a lot of 8 minutes and 1 second videos.
Does this change YouTube meta? Is YouTube meta changed?
Well, I mean, the meta is now going to be 8 minutes instead of 10 minutes, so you don't have to sit through as much filler garbage as people want to put into their videos, right?
But the ironic thing is YouTube, at least, I mean, algorithm keeps changing. I can't keep up with it. At least recently, their number one metric and what they're pushing was watch time.
Mm-hmm.
And so used to,
keeping
they just
people
wanted
on the site.
Yeah, long content, keep them in. Long content that held attention. So it's interesting that they're now going to what's going to, no doubt, influence people to make shorter videos. Maybe this is something, and maybe they've changed the way they look at metrics or what they value more. I just know at one point, like watch time was everything.
Yeah. Everything was just watch time. How long are you able to keep people on the website? That's what they want. They want people to stay on YouTube no matter what. I'm sure they're making this change because they have good information. They're not just like, you know what? 8 minutes. Like we're good. Like it's a very deliberate thing that they're doing.
It's Google.
So we'll just maybe they have data on like average watch times where they want people to stick around for full videos, and they found that average watch time was about this amount as opposed to what we were hoping for with this amount. So maybe if we lower it down to this, it'll change this or that or whatever. I don't know, but
are you in favor as YouTubers about it?
Yeah, for the most part.
Shorter videos, more money. Why would I ever want that?
No, I mean, literally the way I make videos isn't going to change.
Right, same.
I mean, maybe this could allow me, if I have a video and I do think like I'm not a big fan on this, and maybe I can cut it down now to under 10 minutes sometimes. which is a
like
little
you don't
rare,
feel
right?
like a video has to be 10 minutes
Yeah.
for me to upload it now.
No.
I mean, I have some things where it's like I had a 4-minute video go up the other day because it's like, oh, Hawkman's coming back. Like, I'm not
Well,
gonna.
good on
There's
you,
no way for
Datto.
me to stretch that into 10 minutes. There's
I mean,
no
you
way.
could, but I'm glad
I could,
you don't.
but
I'm glad.
So like, yeah, every once in a while I have, a bit of a shorter video. Lately I've been doing a lot more long form stuff, but I don't think any of it has been filler. Like none of it has been just like, I'm just trying to fill time. But like,
I think you recently had a video that was 9:40, and I was like, "Ooh, Datto." I was like, "Just give me 20 seconds, baby." I was like, "I don't care, you're Datto."
I had
I
one.
was like, "I'll allow it."
I had one that was like how to start or how season 11 works, 9:16.
Give me the 50 seconds.
What are you gonna do, right?
I don't care as a viewer.
And then a lot of my other stuff has been
as
long
long as
form.
you get that ad, baby.
The only thing I do keep to 10 minutes are my stream highlights. I make sure that I have at least 10 minutes of good stream highlights, and then I will make a video. That's the only thing I wait for. I don't know if I'm going to tone down my stream highlights to 8 minutes. It would allow me to make more stream highlights more often, as opposed to like once a month or once every other month or something like that. But that's probably the only thing that I would change.
The interesting idea, I doubt this is what plays into it, but it might drive if they're still looking for like retention, because obviously no matter what metric they're looking at, what the end goal is to keep people on the platform for as long as possible.
Yeah,
right.
So this change could mean that now people are putting less filler, and they've noticed when people have to put this filler, that's when people click off. Maybe they get lost. So now maybe some people can kind of trim some fat, and maybe that will drive more engagement or more watch time, or watch whatever in that percentage, like viewed. Percentage viewed of said video. Because for me, interestingly enough, I'll have to look at my analytics again. It's been a little while, but I noticed like I hit like 55% of the video viewed regardless of time. Like it could be a 10-minute video, average view is like 5 minutes. An hour-long video, average view is 30 minutes. Yeah. So it was interesting for me to look at that, because you would think shorter video, more people would have made it, but
right.
I guess there is some point where if they're going to click off, they're going to click off.
Yeah. My data is kind of skewed because I tend to have a lot of timestamps in my videos. So like, it's like, oh, well, I only need this part, so I'm just going to skip to this one little section. Like anything that's like hunting down.
Those are quite helpful, by the way.
Yeah. Thank you. Anything that's like hunting down like collectibles. Like the video will be like 20 minutes long. Average watch time will be like a minute and a half because they're just looking for like those one or two things that they missed. And it's not people going through the whole thing. So a lot of my data tends to be kind of messed up like that because it's not really designed to be watched all the way through.
Right. But the good news is at least some of those get repeatable views. Some people look at something, come back. Or those ones are the really, like, because a lot of your biggest videos are especially like D1 guides.
The malice.
Yeah, like
all exotics.
Exotics, or like the golden chests, all that kind of stuff. Those are also super easy. Like, oh, where'd you get that? Oh, you got to do this. Oh, just watch Datto's video real quick.
2-minute little video.
Yeah, and he'll show you where to get it. So like, there's that trade-off. It's really digestible, but you're not going to get the same. Because see, ironically though, if you hit past that 10-minute mark and you get the mid-roll ads, what will happen though, some people will want to skip, but if they hit that ad, they're still going to have to do it. So I don't know, maybe you still get some revenue there. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't spend enough time looking at analytics. I probably should, because I might be able to like.
I thought you said you look at your analytic page all the time, or like too much.
No, well, because I tried to stop. Well, that YouTube will not let you see statistics, because as soon as you pull up the page, like right now, if I pull up my studio, this is what it says.
The creator dashboard.
Yeah. If I want to go to my creator dashboard, which is just like home for your channel when you want to like upload it or anything.
Just home.
Yeah. It is the first thing on the dashboard is latest video performance. And my video, your audience's interest in this video or topic is lower than usual. Then it says for the first 3 hours and 15 minutes compared to your typical performance, ranking by views, 9 out of 10. Views 25,000, which is down. It has a little arrow letting me know it's down.
Right.
Impressions click-through rate 10%, which is average. Average view duration 6 minutes, which is down. That's the first thing you see. And then on the right is another box of channel analytics, your summary of the last 28 days, how your top videos are performing. No matter where you go.
Oh, thanks YouTube. Like I get it. Like
Yeah.
The only time I can really recall using my analytics in a way that I thought was helpful was with when I used to do Destiny 1 challenge videos and like the raids and stuff. I would tab through to see like, okay, here's a 20-minute video, and most people would just watch the very beginning, maybe a smidge in the middle, and then only the very end. So instead of making these super long challenge videos, I'm like, okay, you guys are only watching the beginning and you're only watching the end.
Don't see the boss.
We're tighten these up real quick. And instead of 20-minute videos, you're getting 5 minutes, 10 minutes at the most.
See, that's a good way though to use analytics to figure out what your audience wants and how to form your content around it.
Yeah.
Some of my content is a little more like, I would struggle to figure out what analytic on my videos is the most important.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no clear
your variety, like people are tuning in for you, but then you also have a segment of your audience that is just like, oh, I don't know what game this is. I don't really care about this game, so I'm not going to watch. But then you have your more core audience is like, I just want to watch Mr. Fruit. So it's tough to kind of gauge that other than just like, okay, what games are popular? Let me upload those. Right?
Yeah. And the bizarre thing too is, I never really noticed it, but a way bigger percentage of each video than you would think are non-subscribers.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, the crazy thing is like in a day, I'll have 100,000 non-subscribers watch my videos. 200 subs gained.
Yeah.
It's like...
what am I doing wrong, bro?
Yeah,
what
like
do you want from me?
There was that many people and only 200 click subscribe. Like, what am I doing wrong?
Right.
That's when it gets like really defeating. Like
for me, I know it's just like, I just want to know how to get the exotic and I'm out. Yeah. Right. Like it's like, okay, how do I get this gun? All right, sweet, bye.
You know, I'm actually guilty of this, Fruit. Okay, so I hope you don't feel bad. There's so many channels I routinely go to, but I don't sub to. Mostly because I'm too lazy to log in and click the subscribe button.
That's
fair. You know what it also is that I also have a couple of channels like that I didn't realize I was not subbed to.
Yeah.
Because I would just watch the videos from like my homepage because it's like it's a recommended video.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I would just watch it. I would watch, like 2-3 videos. I'm like, okay, that was cool. And then just for a while, I think I was doing this with like SB Nation. I just didn't realize that I wasn't subbed. I forgot to sub, but they just kept popping up in my feed normally. So I was like, okay, this is just watching. And some people just might not even realize that they're not subscribed. So make sure to hit that bell or whatever it is now.
The bell is that's the most bizarre thing is you have to, in order for people to like actually get notified of what you do, it's a 2-step process. I don't really know what the subscribe button does anymore because you click subscribe and it says you're subscribed, but that no longer guarantees you see what that content creator makes. That means, hey, maybe we'll put this in your feed more often, but that's not guaranteed. But if you hit the bell, that guarantees you get notifications or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know why they did that
on my channel.
Clearly they did that though because it works. So I don't know. But there's something about that. But I know YouTube loves to see click-through rate from non-subscribers. That's like the most important thing, it seems like, most of the times. It's not like, oh, okay, some of your subs are watching that. We expect that. But we want to see what other people are bothering, like you said, would see them on their home screen and be like, oh, I'll watch this. Because then they're thinking like, oh, we're getting him to watch something that he wouldn't normally be.
Yeah.
And so
or like,
if
oh,
people
our recommended feed is working to what this person wants.
Yeah. Recommended feed is like, you'll be like, wow, like, how do they know this much about me? Like, they've got it down. But yeah, so YouTube is an interesting beast. And that's like some of the stuff some people don't know about. Some people on the platform, but like some of the successful people just wing it. But most of them know the back end and like they have spent their time and they know some degree of like all this stuff that you wouldn't think about. But as soon as you start uploading and you see how it all affects, you're like, this is how this affects me, or how I might shape my content, or like right now I am drastically changing my thumbnails and titles because something's not working. So I'm trying to see if I can figure out what the algorithm will like more.
Datto was clickbait. Datto was clickbait.
Yeah. Somebody tweeted at me
on the thing.
Yeah, he's like, good job with this thumbnail. Like I wouldn't have clicked it otherwise. And it was the Iron Banner Bets video, but I had an arrow with Datto. He's like, I only clicked it because he's like, I only clicked it because I saw Datto. And so I was like, hey, it worked on that guy.
Yep.
So
keep it coming.
Yeah.
Yep. You are clickbait in a Mr. Fruit video, Datto. How do you feel?
That's my boy.
It literally just says Datto.
But see
I just like kind of knew it. I was like, oh, that's the Iron Banner video. I'm just gonna click on it, see it, what the final product looks like. I did not even recognize my name there. 100%
Really?
did not even. I was just like, that's the Mr. Fruit thing. I see the Mr. Fruit in the corner. Looks like the armor's Iron Banner. Boom.
Okay.
I know this video.
Okay, so then what do you think of the final product? I don't know if you.
That was good.
All right, I'll take it. Hey, Datto sealed approval.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's stuff you just like, you don't think about and you got to do, and that's why like channel's been stagnant for a while, at least analytic wise. So it's like something's got to happen.
Yeah,
I don't know what, but that's the nature of YouTube.
To Patreon questions.
I do believe it is. Oh wait. Actually.
Oh.
Ooh.
What's
Datto?
Oh.
How you feel about Destiny?
Ooh, sorry,
so
Blue.
Oh man, I guess
105 minutes.
Blue.
I guess it's Patreon time.
Yeah, you just.
Damn, I just missed the cutoff.
Yeah,
Here,
I just missed the cutoff.
I do want to ask really quick before we transition, because we talked so long about YouTube. Datto, you've obviously recently done a lot more streaming. You want to talk about that a little bit? What drove that? And comparatively, which one, like, what are the pros you think, the cons? Which one, like, what do you like for this? What do you like for that? Or because you've seen both sides of the coin now.
The streaming thing is mainly I got a new contract with Twitch. And so they're like, I don't know how much I can really say about the contract other than just like, I got a new contract and it requires me to stream.
Gag order.
And it requires me to stream a certain amount of hours in a month.
Like a job almost.
Sort of. So that's part of why I have been streaming a bit more. It's not that much more than I normally do. But yeah, I was just talking about this with Tash the other day of just like, going back, would I just stick on one platform as opposed to trying to do both? Because there are times where I'm just like, man, I wish I was a streamer, dude. Like I wouldn't have to worry about trying to come up with insane video ideas for just whatever. And then there's some times where I'm just like, man, I wish I just did YouTube, dude. I don't want to sit in front of a camera all day and just be exposed to hundreds and thousands of people every single time I go stream. So yeah, it's a back and forth for sure. And if I could go back, I think I had to stick with one platform, it would definitely be YouTube. Just because I feel like I do better content on YouTube and I'm more designed and I have the mindset to do YouTube content more than Twitch content. But yeah, it's a struggle trying to sort of do full time both of them, and then you just kind of end up half-assing both of them at the same time.
You're still making great stuff.
It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear, and obviously, those struggles, and I feel the same way. I think I would have chose YouTube. I'm sure Rob and Blue can relate, especially with, like, some of the streaming stuff. Like sometimes you just don't want to go live because of X or Y, or like I'm not feeling it.
Recently, as recent as recently, it's just there's just some days where you're just like, man, I got to figure out how to put on a happy face and go live for 8 hours, and all I want to do is fall into bed into a coma. Like that was like when all the allegations and everything started coming out.
Yeah,
I was just like, I do
how
not
are you supposed
want to be in front of a camera.
How are you supposed to see that and be like, hey guys, I'm
Destiny.
Yeah, you're a better man than I was just like, no,
yeah. So I mean, part of it is just like, hey, I got this new contract. I gotta get out there somehow.
Which is also nice. Like if like I would be like, okay, well, I have to. Like,
Yeah.
It
Well,
at
it's,
least gives you some
sometimes-
force.
Sometimes you just gotta put on a face, and because there's people
Works
out there who are
Don't have the
dressing
same.
and struggling way more than you are, and you
For
gotta try
sure.
to be a rock for some people, some place for people to go to escape the shit of the world, especially recently. And you know what? If you just gotta suck it up for a little bit, that's what you gotta do, right? You gotta suck it up for a little bit, make the day a little bit better for some other people out there, and that's what you gotta do.
I do think about that a lot. Like having a tough time, no motivation or something, but it's like I'm fortunate. I know what I do, and I know a lot of people would like to be here right now. Like there's a difference between like, man, I can't do this because I'm like mentally exhausted, but at least it's not like, all right, I have to go do construction work for 12
Right.
hours a day and I don't have a say. Like,
try and keep it in perspective, kind of thing.
yeah.
Right.
And I do think that sometimes though people will undervalue or underestimate or underappreciate what goes into some of this. Because like Datto said, like with Twitch streaming, even I at first was like, man, this is easy. Like YouTube, I got to sit here and prepare all this stuff, but you could just go live, press a button, talk. Like you click in stream, that's it. You're done.
Right.
I was like, that's so easy. You just play video games. But it's so much more than that. Because how many successful people are there that just sit there and play video games? Nobody.
Not
Shroud.
many.
It's, well, okay.
Shroud.
You're either the best best player ever, or it's because of your personality and how you play games.
Right.
That's what drives people, and that's not easy. Like it's literally like a performance almost. Like you're putting this energy onto the stream for all of these people, and that's why if I'd started on stream, the Mr. Fruit persona per se would have been
So
a lot
different.
yeah,
Like,
a lot more different because that was my
are you
problem.
sad?
Yeah, oh my god. When I first streamed and did streams, that was the problem. I tried to keep up the Mr. Fruit energy that you would expect from a video, but live form. And after about an hour of that, I want to just sleep until the next week.
When we're all doing TTT, I think our limit it's basically about 2 to 2.5 hours. As soon as we hit that 2.5 hour mark,
That's when it gets
everyone
a
is
little
just
wild.
like,
Yeah.
like we're down.
It's pretty obvious, like, all right, yeah, like last map or.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to recognize that though too, to not like push beyond that. And thankfully with like TTT and stuff, we have that luxury.
Mm-hmm.
But I know when I record, like I know my limit. And that's also why I'm kind of thankful I don't stream too much. Because it's not like my Halo 3 days. I can't just sit down anymore and play a game for like 8 hours. I just can't do it. I couldn't tell you why. I don't
If
not
I
like
loved
video
the game
games, but
enough,
like
I could.
like when
I could
Destiny
sit and play
2
Civilization for like 8 hours straight.
there are like
That's
I did
one
that
of
with
the few.
mine. I was doing that with Minecraft. There are like few periods, and if I like the game enough, but otherwise, that's my problem. I don't even know what to play on my free time. If I was a streamer and 8 hours a day, almost every day I had to be playing something, I'd run out of stuff, and then I'd be like,
Yeah.
video games.
Lately for me, I just haven't wanted to really play anything in general. I'm just sort of like not interested in single player games. I'm much more interested in party games. But yeah, even just talking about the energy, like after like a 6, 7, 8 hour stream, as
Right.
soon as I turn it off, I'm like, I need to go take a nap like right now. Cause you're just so drained of it. It might not be like a physical drain, but it is just a sucking of your energy completely out of you after a stream. Like I can't do those marathons anymore. It's tough.
Have you
It's
ever done
like-
a 24-hour?
I've done a 27 hour and a 19 hour and a 22 hour.
Was 27 last?
Yeah, it had to be that raid, right? Dang.
Yep.
Well, the description you had after you stream and that draining feeling, that's kind of like depression. Just imagine you have that. Like, I'm not physically drained, I'm not mentally drained, but I'm just drained.
Yeah,
I have it all the
emotionally
time, it
drained.
hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you say, Blue probably understands.
Yeah, it's very draining. But I do think people absolutely underestimate how much work it actually like for me, I think about maybe 10 to 15% is actually playing the game. And then the other percentage is writing, producing, editing, recording, getting clips, exporting, setting everything up properly. And then also just doing research on the video, writing and getting information, doing multiple drafts. It's not
all while maintaining a
playing the
relationship.
game. All while doing that, all while trying to keep up with the sneaker game, all while trying to keep up with the stock. I feel like I'm working 3 full-time jobs recently. I have a problem. It is a problem. I have a productivity problem where I feel like I always need to be productive with whatever I am doing.
Amen.
Everything must be production. And it's a huge problem and I hate it and I cannot stop myself from working or researching. Literally after this stream, I'm going back to work on a video. Or sorry, after this podcast, I'm going back to work on a video. I have a problem and I hate it and I wish I could stop and I can't stop.
I've talked about the struggles. I literally struggle with the exact same thing. And that's why some people are like, man, Mr. Fruit, your work ethic is crazy. It's like, it's not really a work ethic. I just don't know how to turn it off.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm a workaholic. I'll admit it. I know it. I can't stop working because then I don't even know what to do. And then my mind space is, what is something I can do in my free time that's productive? It always has to be productive.
Yeah. Even with me with the sneakers, like I'm trying to find ways to make it productive. Stock market obviously is like, that's pretty like research intensive and monitoring things. And it's all about just knowing what you need to research and all that. But it's always just, how can I be productive right now? And I literally have to get Danielle to like drag me away to even just like sometimes eat dinner. Because otherwise I won't eat. I'll just sit here and keep doing things to try to be productive. And I can't enjoy free time. Like there is no free time. There is just time where I just forget that I have to do work. And then I snap back to reality. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. I have to work on the thing.
You're successful. God, guys.
Well, see, like that, but like that's the
like yes, we are, but it's not like we don't feel satisfied. It's like almost right. Like Fruit is hugely successful, way more successful, and still it's just like, could I tone my production down? Could I tone my production down a lot and still be fine? Absolutely. But I just have the mentality and it's a problem where I just have to keep
like most people
going.
When they get to that level would go and get like a membership at a golf course and go golfing every once in a while. But you guys like can't, and that's what is like,
we'll see that
it's almost an addiction.
Yes.
It's almost like an addiction.
Yeah. Well,
Not the worst addiction to have, but still frustrating nonetheless.
But like that's what I was saying. I have an addictive personality, which is why again, like some people are like, if you drink it will. But I am scared that I wouldn't be able to control myself if I started drinking or something like that, because everything that I pick up, I get addicted to, and I guess it's okay that I can recognize that and I try to be better at it. But like I know there are things, and then I go in, like I am all in, and so I think that's part of what Datto and I guess I could say suffer from. But like Blue's saying, this isn't the worst thing, but also imagine never being able to wind down. Like I wish I could just enjoy doing nothing, but I can't.
See, I love doing nothing. Like
I love it too. It's not that I don't love it. Like I love having days where I can just sit and do
feel
nothing.
fortunate that like I can be in the moment of doing nothing and like doing like nothing, and my mind isn't somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like,
see, this is the problem I have. My issue is in that my brain is always somewhere else. So you guys, with YouTube specifically, I don't want to be fucking doing nothing. Manifest says, okay, I'm gonna start working. I don't want to be doing nothing. Manifest says, okay, I'm gonna go absolutely grind the shit out of a 14-hour quest in Final Fantasy.
Yeah. I mean, there's days where I wish
Not
I
the worst.
was doing that, you know?
Okay, but yours
It's,
is way more beneficial.
I obviously, yes, it is a bit more beneficial than grinding out, you know, quests in an MMO, but
So when I
it can
sit
still
down-
it's still definitely frustrating at times because I want to have those times where I can just hit real gamer hours and just sit and just play some games or just sit and do nothing. And it takes a lot for me to have those days where I'm just like, okay, today you've worked a bunch during the week or whatever. Today, or at least for a few hours, you don't have to do anything. And
See,
even then, I still end up like doing some writing or something like that.
See, I think for me, it's like I have to be like enjoying the game or like have like a passion about it or something like that, or like have like some sort of like investment in it or like have some sort of fun in it. But and if I don't, it's just like, why am I doing this? Then it's just like I can't pretend. Then it's just like ugh.
Well, sometimes work sucks and you just gotta do it anyway,
exactly.
right? Like I'm not gonna sit here and say like, oh my god, it's so miserable making videos on video games. Blah, blah. But like sometimes work sucks, right? And we all, you know, I'm sure you can relate. All content creators can relate where you just have those days where you're just like, man, I'm not feeling it. Today sucks. Work sucks, and we just got to hit tomorrow.
Well, I feel like in most jobs you can get through a bad day and just kind of get through your job just having a bad day. But if you have a bad day as a streamer, it's pretty out there for the world to see, and then you have to hear about it. And people ask you, "Oh, hey, like, what's like wrong?" And like, it's coming from a place of like not a nice place, but they like to hear about it. And then it's just like, "Oh, like I'm trying to like get away from it," and then it's like I can't get away from it. And then it's like, what is the point? It's just a lot.
With working from home, it's tough to separate as well. It's tough to have
oh my
work
God.
versus home situation. I'm sure a lot of people can relate now working from home. Are you sick of it yet? Are you tired of it? I'm sure some people aren't, but I'm sure a lot of people are.
As a content creator for me, I think the hardest part for my transition was like being my own boss, you know, like I don't have to check into like if I don't stream tonight, I'm not going to have Twitch on my ass. Well, because I don't have a contract or anything like that, but like also because I don't have a boss, you know what I mean? So like,
Danielle
yeah,
is going through a similar thing with joining G1. She didn't have that little kick in the ass to be like, hey,
like
we need this video. We need this video next week. Where's the video? Like, what's going on? But now she has that little kick in the ass to kind of motivate her to make some content again. But yeah, when you're on your own, it's all self-discipline. It's all just, it's time to get to work, man. Like you're your own boss. You set your own rules, and that's cool. But it could also be horrible and scary to be like, oh man, I'm actually in charge of myself now. Oh, this is not good.
I think a lot of
You're correct. It's not.
like Blue is saying, I think people can take that different ways too. Like Blue, he's his own boss, and so he's struggling to get himself to do something. Whereas me as my own boss, I feel like I can't stop. And then I feel guilty if I am.
It's less that I'm not struggling to get myself to do something. It's just I always do something. It's just maybe not the productive thing.
Right.
The most productive, yeah.
Because I can't sit down and do nothing. Like I'll go off and do something, but that something might not be actually productive. It might be awful for me actually, but I'm still doing something.
Right.
Which is worse.
I don't mean to say like doing nothing literally. When I say doing nothing, it's like watching YouTube videos or just like messing around with sneakers or whatever it might be. But yeah.
See, those are all background things for me. Like I don't like actively watch YouTube or actively like those aren't like my primary focus. These aren't like my primary processes in my CPU.
Yeah.
Claire functions a lot like that. She always has something like a show going on, but it's never.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like what she's focusing on.
I need to like if I'm watching it. That's why part of the reason why I didn't watch Game of Thrones for like a super long time was just like that's not a show you have up in the background, right? That's not a background show.
No.
The Office, Futurama, that's a background show. Game of Thrones is like, what the hell is going on? I am so what? And I had to like literally watch over the first season.
Yeah, I have to
just
really
to follow.
love a show to sit down and that be the like, okay, my focus is on this show.
Right.
I think that's actually a hidden perk of anime. Because if you're not watching dub, you have to be watching if you don't want to miss something.
True.
Yeah.
You have to dual focus because you're reading while you're watching.
Yeah. And that's the only
Anime's
reading
tight.
I get. Yeah. We like anime. But to wrap this all up, content creation.
Patreon questions.
Yeah, it's fun. I'm glad I'm here doing what I'm doing. But
I wouldn't want to be doing anything else, like honestly.
Oh, for
like,
sure.
Really,
but
like that's how I feel.
This
like
is better than 99.99% of jobs.
I feel,
But
and
that doesn't mean it's all.
And I
but it's
question
still
like,
a job.
Why, like, and how? You know, like at the end of the day, it's Christian and I. This is how it's always been since we played games in high school. But now people just watch. It's like so crazy to me.
And I've said it before. There's the saying that like, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. And I disagree.
My dad told me that all the time.
That's not true. But if you want to love what you do, it's nothing but work.
Yeah. It's still, you can still love it, but it's still going to be a job. And a lot of people have that issue. Like for me, it has affected me gaming wise. If I'm gaming and it's not for content, I'm like, it almost feels pointless. Like why am I doing this? I could be recording I could be capturing this.
Feel guilty too.
This could be a stream right now. This could be a video right now. What am I doing? And then it goes back to being productive.
Yep.
And
the moral of the story is first world problems.
Yeah. So point is, YouTube, I enjoy it. We love you. But let's get to some Patreon questions.
Well, the first Patreon question was actually from Benjamin Tom, and it actually was, what gives you guys motivation to get up and play video games every day? Does it ever feel like you just clock in for a job at some point? So technically we were doing Patreon questions that whole time.
20 minutes has shown you that, yeah, sometimes it is not all sugar and rainbows.
Sometimes they're easier than others. Like ones where it's super easy to get on and do content is like new game just released. Like a Destiny expansion.
Oh, sometimes it's awesome.
Yeah, like some days where there's big stuff and I know I'm like, all right. Like I'm just excited to play this, and that's gonna translate super easily.
in February, you know,
but like right now, when there's nothing new, nothing really taken off on the channel, and it's just like same old, it's a little harder to just be like gaming.
Right.
Not that I don't not enjoy gaming, because at the end of the day, I wouldn't still be making videos if I didn't enjoy the games. Yeah. But I've just found a way to only really enjoy the games as Mr. Fruit in a weird way. But
what's actually helped me with gaming a little bit is actually getting hobbies that are not gaming, because hobbies or gaming was my hobby and my job and my life until probably about last year. I guess technically it really started when I first met Danielle. And then since then I have developed some other hobbies as well, but that's helped me too, to kind of like get away from having 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Everything I do is gaming.
I guess we'll do the next question from Quinn Cuffman. It says, hey guys, sorry, dyslexia wins again.
Hello, guy.
Been a fan of the podcast ever since you guys started posting GG over easy. Really appreciate an uplifting and hilarious moments throughout the podcasts. Anyways, regarding to my question, how did Datto originally connect with you guys and become part of the Dream Team? I've always enjoyed when he was part of Mr. Fruit's videos, but I always wondered how each member became a part of the special group that is the Dream Team. Thanks for listening to my question, and best wishes to you guys.
I remember our first actual long interaction was at a Destiny event, and we went to like a pizza place pretty close by to Bungie, and I had my Datto
has his get to know you.
Who are you?
Yeah.
Who the hell are you?
Meal.
Yeah. Where did you go to college? What do you do?
Well, it was around the time where you and like the Dream Team in general just blowing up, just exploding in popularity. And that was also during a time where I was very competitive numbers wise, and I was like, oh man, this dude's gonna take me over. Him and Planet Destiny.
Like you thought it was like a Game of Thrones, like dog eat dog.
Back then, absolutely. Yeah. Back
like
then
I'm
I was
trying to
much
play
more
you.
competitive with my numbers and this and that, and just like I can't keep up in this. But you know, that feeling has very fortunately subsided. But
and I don't think I also think even at the time it might have been hard to see, but we weren't competing because the content we did couldn't have been more different at the time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
For sure.
Like Destiny wise. Yeah. Like
also, like a little bit later on. Like
somebody going to you is going to you for a completely different reason they would go to me. Like I don't think there was a lot of cross pollination at the time. At least.
Yeah.
But that's funny. You never told me that.
The first thing. Well, I mean, I was like that with everybody, right?
Well, how should you not be? It's like a new kind of like space, you know? Like
this was like the first couple of years, and I just didn't really know, and I was so concerned about like maintaining my status.
It's a business at
on
the end
YouTube.
of the day, like,
right? And I think it was also like around some kind of tumultuous times with Destiny, especially at the very, very beginning, where like I originally thought 2 months into Destiny, I was like, well, that was a fun project, but it's time to go back to my PA life. So yeah, that's why I was so concerned. What was the first thing that I appeared? It was probably a raid video, right? Crota's End?
Maybe TTT. We couldn't have played TTT without Datto at one point.
No, I know for a fact that Rocket League video was way before TTT.
Oh, that's right.
Because we did versus the Dream Team or versus math class.
Yeah.
But I don't. That can't be the first one.
I think it was like 3.
My first interaction with Datto was
was
like at E3 20. What was that? Taken King, maybe? Or
2015 then?
Yeah, I can't really remember.
We were at that Sony. It was like at that Sony conference
PSX.
or something. PSX or no, it wasn't. Or it was at Sony's conference or whatever.
Oh, an E3.
Like, oh, that's Datto.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I do know that like first time Datto and I really met each other was that event, and then I think even after that event we didn't click too much, but I think the event after that, which I want to say was Taken King or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe E3. It was one of those, and then we like hung out a little bit more. And then I'm actually interested to figure out what was our first, because I can't remember.
I feel like it had to have been a raid one, because we didn't start doing TTT until I started to become a bit more assimilated with you guys and develop more chemistry to the point where I was like, we should do TTT. Like other people are doing that, and that's fun. So I would assume it had to have been some sort of a raid video, maybe even an Iron Banner video if I've appeared in multiple of those. I feel like I have, but I don't remember.
If someone can somehow find it, I guess I could go through, but
I'd be interested to know.
There's no real easy way to figure it out.
My guess would be a raid video, like what Datto said. That would be my best guess.
Because I don't remember really playing PvP with you in D1, like at all, really. So yeah, it's a good question. But that's how we ended up meeting. And then because of that, we started to play, and then he got in, and then the Dream Team, and then he just kind of...
And then Blue...
As with everyone else, everyone just kind of talked. And and Blue knew a lot of people over on Datto's side. And
I don't even remember the first time I talked to him on the internet. I'm pretty sure it was just... God,
probably just through when we were doing content.
I'm pretty sure the first time I ever actually like did stuff with Datto was like, oh, Datto wants to be in one of our TTT videos. Oh, tight. And then, but the first time I ever actually like interacted with Datto was, God, it was when you came down for the college basketball tournament. Was it NCAA?
Yeah. When Villanova was playing in Texas. Yep.
Is that the year they won?
A couple years ago. They won in 2016 and 2018. I think it was the one in 2018 that I went to.
Oh. So yeah, that's tight.
I think so.
And we met at, where'd we meet? This is dope ass
Smoke Shack.
Smoke Shack. Great place.
I
haven't taken you guys there either.
Right.
Not like that.
And I met with Arios. Okay, with Arios, and we met Datto, and It was very jarring because Datto, I didn't know Datto that well at that point. So Datto just was like, "Who are you? Where'd you go to college? What do you do?" And I'm like, "Oh, hey Datto, how you
like
doing?"
speed
bud?"
dating.
And then he was like, "Yeah, I see your channel's doing really well. I really like that. Your retention rate seems pretty well." Like,
I wanted to know more about you because when I have the opportunity to actually meet people in real life, I want to get to know them like normal people might get to know each other, because I have had so little of that in my adult life that I'm just like, I want to establish more than just like an online connection to people and just have online friends. Like, I want to actually feel like I know some people and kind of know them outside of the internet. That's been a big thing for me over the past couple of years, is just learning who people are outside of just, we play games, once every couple of weeks and then that's it. And it feels like a business relationship. So I think that's part of the reason why I was so aggressive.
That's why Fruit Summit was really cool. I'd all known you for a while, but just being able to like everyone be there, all hang out like that was really cool. Which is why I wanted to do more. But
we could do this next question. This is a Datto question. This is from that guy, y'all caps. Datto, what is your favorite cosplay you have done?
Favorite cosplay I've done is probably Mad Moxie, just because it turned out so really much better than I thought it was going to.
What did you think about it that was going to turn out well?
My face. I have a very strong chin. It's one of my only few strong qualities physically. Yes. It's a very, very, I'll get close to the camera here. It's a very just like everyone. Yeah,
I have a very soft chin. Very like.
And so the ladies, more often than not, tend to have a softer chin. So I'm here with my giant chin, and I'm always just very concerned because I want to look the part as much as possible, and I feel I get self-conscious about my chin. Right, exactly. I get very self-conscious about my chin when I'm doing cosplay. When I'm not doing cosplay, I love my chin. Awesome. I love it. But when I'm doing cosplay, I'm always concerned about my chin and trying to figure out how to make it not look so.
Have you ever looked into a thing to like put on it? Is there such a thing that can actually?
I don't know why Rob was like, have you ever looked into? And I immediately thought Rob was gonna be like, have you ever looked into like chin surgery, dude? Like,
no, I was thinking just like a mat, I don't know,
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. Danielle looked up some stuff that was just basically like special effects makeup that people would use to create wounds in like your arm, like you would sort of like build it up.
That's
here
what I was thinking, almost
just
make a synthetic chin almost.
So we did try to put some stuff on the sides. It just didn't really end up being sort of like to the level that we needed it to be. And also a lot of it is just like, you can't make this squared off part of my chin go away.
Yeah,
like
you have
this
to fill
not
in
going
the part.
away.
Yeah,
you'd have to make it even bigger, and then I just have like a big bottom half jaw of my face and whatever, and it would just kind of look weird. But that I think has been my favorite just because it turned out so well. I actually haven't gotten to do much cosplay stuff in a little while. Which I'm kind of sad about, but
next Guardian Con incentive, I want like cosplay makeup done by like a legit like special effects maybe kind of person, and like have somebody like that. That'd be sick.
I've had Amy, Jez's wife, do my makeup a couple of times, and obviously Danielle has also done it. One of my incentives is actually I have to do it on stream, which I'm super not self-conscious about at all. But that's something I need to do. But let's just say I've learned what it's like to actually have to put on all that makeup and stuff. So dudes out there, if you're ever just like, man, wish this lady would hurry the hell up. What is taking so long? You know what's taking so long is the 87 layers of crap that they need to put on their face. That's what's up. You gotta do the primer, and then you have to do the foundation, and then you have to do the concealer.
All in the right steps.
All right. First it's primer, then it's concealer, then it's foundation. Then sometimes if you want to do some contouring, you do that. And then it's the eyeshadow. And then it's the
I don't even know what contouring is.
The
eyeshadow, eyeliner.
It's like eyeliner. It's
okay,
more eyeliner.
Yes.
And then it's the mascara. And then it's the highlights on the sides. And then you put a little
blush,
on the nose.
blush.
Sometimes you do a little bit of blush. And then if you want to go, Danielle loves her putting on her fake eyelashes. And then you got to put those things on too. And the whole thing is like an hour and a half of all this stuff.
And then when you have it on too, it's like
imagine having to do that every day. Ladies, I feel for you. It is exhausting. So next time you're asking your girl why she's taking so long, it's because she has to do all of that stuff before y'all want to go out.
I always tell Sydney, when you got a sweatshirt and your hair up and no makeup, like, hell yeah. Like, I'm happy for you. I'm so happy you don't feel like you have to fucking wear that like all the time around me. Like,
and now when I'm doing it, I don't know the first thing about makeup. I barely know anything. So I go even slower. Plus I have the extra step of having to shave all of my face with just a regular like razor. And then I have like a special electric razor that I do to get to get it like super, super, super smooth. So that way the makeup goes on properly because you don't want little hairs sticking out of your face when you're putting on the makeup. So for me, it'll take like 2.5, 3 hours to get that rolling. And it's exhausting. And that's why I try to do characters with masks because number one, I get to hide some part of my face. And number two, I don't have to do as much damn makeup. So to answer your question, it was Mad Moxie. But I got a couple more coming up.
Winky Dinky says, question for Datto. How much did the bobs cost? Asking for a friend.
$400.
Okay.
On Amazon.
That sounds about what I would guess. Like a good pair of cosplay bobs. I would guess that as well.
Yeah. $400.
I'm assuming what bobs are.
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. $400. You can find them on Amazon. I've had a couple people ask me. You just Amazon, cosplay, bobs. Very easy to find.
Cosplay bobs.
Not Blue Wheatloaf 112 says, we have a D&D session with Datto as a DM for a few years back. Pretty sure it's archived now. I know we missed a goal, but a lot of people would love to see it. Some more D&D, maybe with a professional DM. Is there a future possibility? To address the first question, that's more so Datto. That was just what on your second channel, and now since then,
I actually just had to unlist them because I had so many people coming in being like, "When are you going to continue the campaign?"
And it's just like, sorry,
and yeah, we never could really get it rolling again because to me, a successful campaign is one that can actually meet almost every week. And when we were doing it, it was like we did one and then we had skipped 2 weeks and then we did one and then we skipped like 3 weeks and then we did one and then we just never got back together. So I would have liked to have done it more, but yeah, we just couldn't get everybody together, especially for something that did not end up being content on someone's channel other than just me kind of offloading it. Cause like, if we're going to organize all these people together, well, goddamn, we got to record some TTT or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Blue, do you remember what your character was in our D&D sessions?
Dude, I don't even remember. It was who was it? It was
I'd have to go look it up.
I was Rob Lamarck, a cleric or something.
It was some like tea leaf Roscoe.
I think it was Roscoe.
Roscoe tea leaf something, and I was an archer, wasn't I? I was like a dwarf archer, I think.
I'm trying to look it up right now. Next game not scheduled.
To address the next question, I would say stay tuned for next week's podcast. And I will leave it at that.
There you go.
Grizzly Stag says this question is for the whole group. What is everyone's most optimal / favorite Twitch stream and why?
Twitch stream?
Yeah, I guess I have one, dude, and it's weird. He's a Destiny streamer, which is weird because I don't watch, but it's weird too because he was a Fortnite streamer before that. I watch Leopard all the time. Like if I'm watching a streamer, I'm watching Leopard. I watch Leopard all the time. I'm a Leopard fan.
Leopard's had a big blow up ever since he's come back to Destiny. And I'm very
I knew
glad
he would. I knew he would.
I had spoken to him about coming back to Destiny for a little while. Like he was on Fortnite for a while, and I was like, I was always in the back of my head, like, man, Lep, like Fortnite is just, it's so saturated already. It's so dominated. And I think you're gonna have much better luck whenever you come back to Destiny. And now he's killing it.
Yeah, he's dope. He's awesome. He's my favorite streamer. I tell him that. I try to like keep him as like a friend, so like I don't fangirl when I see him or like when I like talk to him.
Yeah,
that's why I want to get him in TTT sessions really bad because I think he'd be super awesome in that kind of environment.
If we plan it far enough in advance, I can always ask him to be.
That's what I'm saying. He just always like we never plan, and he has a wife and kids.
Right?
Like,
yeah.
He can't
we'll
just
see.
have the luxury.
Next time we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't really get to watch a lot of Twitch streams, not nearly as much as I used to. I used to watch Moon like every single night for quite a long time, but now it's like I just don't get the time to watch people as much anymore. I try to tune in whenever I can, try and throw them up on the side or whatever, but a lot of the times I have to kind of like mute the stream and then I get distracted and then I'm just not watching it anymore. So yeah. By the way, Blue, you were Roscoe Tea Leaf, the Lightfoot Halfling.
Oh yeah, there we go.
You're a ranger.
That's right. I got it right. Streamer. I honestly don't watch a whole lot of Twitch, but ever since I started playing Final Fantasy, I've actually been getting back into watching a lot of Arthur's. Arthur's is a Final Fantasy 14 streamer. He's hilarious. He's so think about Final Fantasy. The reason he's so entertaining is because he's actually so fucking toxic, right? He's awful. And the reason it's so, and you probably think like, oh, that's awful. No, the reason it's hilarious is because Final Fantasy has such a nice community. Literally the nice community I think I've ever seen. And it's just so funny that this dude who is like a hardcore raider is just the antithesis to the game, and it makes him so entertaining because his whole shtick is just being a huge, just meme shitbag. I don't know. I can't describe why I love it, but he's hilarious. Arthur's is my favorite streamer right now.
Mr.
Don't really watch any Destiny, unfortunately.
We have the Flaming Taco Fury says, which is better, pancakes or waffles?
I get this question far more often than I'd like to admit. I'm a waffles guy. I like having the crunch factor there. I will do pancakes if they're in front of me, but if waffles are in front of me, I'm going for waffles first.
Damn. It depends on my day, dude. But like, I'm a pancake guy. Like, I like, like if I'm talking, if we have a perfect waffle and a perfect pancake, I'll take a perfect pancake.
I'm actually
like soft and just like it melts in my mouth. It's nice. I'm gonna go with pancake, and I like maple syrup a lot more on a pancake than I do on a waffle.
So the reason I'm a waffles guy is because the syrup fits into the little squares, so it's perfect syrup to waffle ratio all the time because the waffle naturally holds the syrup properly, and for that reason, I will always be a waffle stan.
I'm with you there. Yeah, syrup can just kind of melt into the pancake, make it a little mushy.
Exactly. But with waffles, you don't have to worry about that because it stays firm, but it still absorbs the syrup through the squares.
Yep.
It's just perfection.
Our next question is from Drink Water Dudes. It says, what was all your reactions to the recent events that took place in the Destiny community, and what do you think needs to change in order to prevent situations like this from ever happening again?
I feel like we just talked about that a lot.
I'm just letting them know that we read it and feel like we talked about it. And so if you go back and like, oh, I just want to like see what they say to that, we talked about it in the podcast. Jelly says, do you plan on having any female guests? You've had Travel Danielle or on some videos, or I know Miss 500 Watts has been a fan of the Mr. Fruit channel. Yes, I do plan on having a female guest. I just planned next week's guest. And once I find out a time when our next week's guest can go on, that's when I planned on finding our next guest, who I planned on having a female guest. And it might actually be Danielle, so have her be possibly on the notice.
Okay, I'll let her know.
Black Suede X says, this is more of a suggestion. The title of the next Tournament of Power could be Tournament of Power 2. Datto can't win them all, right? Okay, well, maybe we'll name
It's a good title. I don't know if the YouTube algorithm's gonna like it though. That's a lot of words in the title, and we gotta really lock down those titles because that's precious real estate. That being said, I'm very excited whenever we actually schedule that because it's been a while since we played golf it.
The last question is from Nicholas. Says, if you could play a game as if it were the first time again, parentheses, no memories, which would you choose? And then also, Datto, what's that sniper rifle? Datto, why?
God. Recently, I've been using the trophy hunter in Destiny, and apparently nobody knows what the trophy hunter is.
Oh, really? So
the previous season. So everyone's just like, "What the hell is that?" And I had to make it for it.
Let me guess. You in the top right, you had "This is my sniper rifle." Like I got it from this. Like
exclamation point energy was popping off that day. Popping off.
I bet you could go in like into your analytics and actually see like how many times like that was actually.
Oh, I wish. I wish I could.
First time.
You can go first for this one.
First time, no memories. I guess I'd say like Halo 2's campaign. Like the first time like I got to play that as a kid. Like that was just so cool. And like to do that now as like an adult and to like have that feeling like as you would as a 25-year-old. Like I feel like I'd still have the same feeling as like my 10-year-old self would. So like having that kind of feeling would be sick. But like no game has ever made me feel like that way. But like maybe that is what nostalgia is. And that's what I'm always
you're more educated, so you kind of know what to expect nowadays. Whereas when you're a kid, you're just like, I don't know anything. What's this?
Yeah, like a scarab. Whoa, look at this thing.
You have zero perspective of anything.
No, I get to play as the arbiter. Like, whoa.
Yeah. For me, it's probably either The Witness, World of Warcraft, or Dark Souls. I love The Witness.
The puzzle game?
Witness is the puzzle game.
I've played it a little bit. I go back to it every now and then. I just never finish it.
If you have not played The Witness, I think it's a real fun time if you want puzzle. It is pure puzzles. You are a dude who walks around to screens and you solve puzzles. And that's the whole game. And I loved it. It's a real fun time.
What I like about that game a lot is The Witness is like when like you're just walking and like you see a tree, but then like you see the tree kind of looks like it's going to a star, and then you're like, oh, and then so you use that thing and then you connect the tree to the star, and then you just like kind of
not only are there puzzles on screen, but the world itself is puzzles.
Yeah, it's weird. It's awesome. But like all the puzzles aren't the same either. Like
no, they're not.
They all have the same kind of like mechanic. Like it's a ball and has like its kind of start point. But they all have their own unique, like, it's really fun. I'm gonna play it tonight now.
Yeah, it was free for a while on the Epic Game Store. I doubt it is anymore. But I loved it. WoW for basically just like the nostalgia factor of just like the first time exploring the world and all that kind of stuff, and then Dark Souls for like kind of the same thing. It's just like the struggle, you know.
Mr. Fruit, if you could play any game for the first time, no memory, what would you choose and why?
God of War might be up there.
The newest
first one?
Yeah, newest one.
Oh.
That one just blew me away. Had no expectations, didn't know what to expect. A banger. Aside from that though, like I haven't been able to play a lot of single player games. And everything else was like from my childhood. Maybe Pokemon for the first time again. That was magical.
What about you, Blue?
I would actually pick the first Last of Us. I've never had a game actually stick with me as hard as first Last of Us did.
Blue, can I ask you?
Last of Us 2 sucked. Don't ask me about it. Don't.
Mr.
Just
Fruit.
don't. Just don't.
I changed my
That
answer.
game doesn't exist.
I know for a fact. I knew I was forgetting something. BioShock Infinite. That's my answer.
Oh, that's such a good one. I would put the original BioShock up there as well for me.
Infinite. That stuck with me. Cried like a baby at the end. Such a good game.
Blue, you hated The Last of Us. No spoilers, because I think Mr. Fruit, you're currently playing the first one still, correct?
Yes.
So the first Last of Us is like top 3 games all time for me. If I could re-experience a game, it would be the original Last of Us. Now, if there was a game I could delete from existence, Last of Us 2 would be on that list as well.
Blue, I have the question of the podcast for you. Okay. Would you rather have Paragon back or The Last of Us 2 erase it from existence?
The Last of Us 2 erased from existence.
Wow.
Shut up.
That's how you know.
Look, man, I'm just saying, I love Paragon, but I've accepted that it's never truly coming back, and that's okay. I kid you, like, truly, Last of Us, the original, was one of my favorite games ever, and I will never have an experience like that again from a video game, and I know this. But God, Last of Us 2 sucks. I'm not going to talk about it.
Without spoiling anything, in just like vocab words or like it's something. What is it about Last of Us 2? Like, is it just like story, gameplay? Like what?
It's clearly not developed by the same team that developed the first one, is what I'll say.
Okay.
The game itself, it's a good game, like gameplay wise. As far as story, I will say it is clearly not the same people who made the original Last of Us.
What I hear from my source, I haven't played it, but I know what the story is and stuff like that. And from what I feel from playing from the first, I would just say story is definitely the reason.
I've just read that sometimes things can be left as one-offs and don't need a sequel, and The Last of Us was that.
Last of Us was one of those things. 2 just has this. I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird, and it's like, look, I'm just gonna keep it real with you. If you have like a white dude from Silicon Valley try to write every character in existence, and they think that they wrote him perfectly, the Last of Us 2 is the game you would get. Like, wow, I'm so smart. I'm so good at writing stories. I'm from Silicon Valley. That's the type of story you get. Last of Us 2.
Have you played Last of Us, Datto?
I actually got to play Last of Us in a focus group when I was still in LA. So
really?
when I was working in LA, I signed up for this thing that was like video game focus groups, where every once in a while they'd send out a thing that's like, hey, we're looking for XYZ people who are familiar with, this game, that game, this format. And I would sign up for everything that came through. And Last of Us was one of those games where I got to play through the majority of the game before it actually came out and do like a focus group on it over, I want to say 3 days.
I'm assuming this was paid.
Yes, I got paid $350 to do it.
That's not bad.
Which
for like
at the
3-4 days.
For 3 days? That's a steal. What do you mean?
Which at the time for me was
in LA,
amazing.
Like you're in LA, like
I'm in LA. I'm unemployed half
in
the
the
time.
valley.
They're paying for food. It's close by. I'm like,
that is the fattest yoink. Easy.
Yeah.
Yes,
so
please.
that is
What
so
was
I
your
had
best
never
game
actually
in the focus group.
It was probably Last of Us. Yeah.
Okay.
Like the other games that I played were just kind of I played it was like one of the first PlayStation Move games with like the magic. Was it just called Magica or something? I forget what it was called. That was one of them. I did something I did a focus group for Call of Duty Elite, that sort of extra service that came out very, very long time ago.
What's the worst thing you ever like?
Oh, I didn't do many of these.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember one that was like, this is garbage. Because I think I only did like 3, maybe 4 of them.
Anthem.
So I never actually played the retail. I never actually played the retail version of Last of Us. I only played the focus group one.
Mr. Fruit. You can't even say that. You can't even say that.
I was practically in a focus group. Didn't know it, and then, God, man, whatever I played was rough. What Datto, when we went to play Anthem, he said, "What was your worst experience in a focus group?"
I didn't hear what game you said. Yeah.
Anthem. That was
we got baited with Anthem pretty hard.
Yeah. I knew as soon as I started playing, I was like, this is.
Well, and that was like early too. You like
no, it wasn't even that. I mean, kind of. Anyway, if you're interested in game development or just stuff, though, I just finished it. It's really good. On YouTube, you can search it. PlayStation God of War documentary. Super good. Watch that.
Cool.
All right, Christian. Quick question. Yes.
Okay.
These are gonna be quick. You gotta like fire these off because these are what you missed. I actually kind of missed this one. Punk from Dallas. What is your favorite anime opening? I like the "You Are My Friend" one, even though I could not tell you what that's from.
Fire Force original. He passes.
Datto doesn't watch anime.
I don't watch anime.
Datto does not do anime.
No.
Fire Force's original intro. Banger.
Blue?
The first Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood opening again by
I'm familiar with that one right now.
Yui.
I think that's gonna be our first thing for the Patreon is Full Metal Alchemist. So we might have to start that. I'm gonna start that soon. Okay, Christian, back to yours. Here it goes. Pancakes or waffles?
Ooh. Waffles 6 out of 10 times. It's close.
Okay. Grizzly Stag asks your favorite streamer.
As bad as one's not. I don't have time to watch many streams. I'm trying to think when I do watch a stream.
Clint Stevens too. I kind of forgot about Clint Stevens. I watched Clint Stevens.
Like if I have time, it's because I'm watching like professional league.
LCS is your favorite.
Yeah, like I don't know. Pass. I feel bad. I watch some people, but I'm never headed to Twitch to watch like a person. I don't even have a YouTube person I watch.
All right, and that was it.
Hey,
okay.
And that is episode 45 of the GG Over Easy podcast. Yeah, well,
we didn't even get to sneakers or stock market stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say
this could like honestly go for like another 2 hours, but we have to stop.
Yeah,
we'll bring Datto back.
Yeah, we'll bring you back. Episode 49, maybe bring you back for the year.
It was just easy. You know, it's good talking with you. There's always interesting stuff. Hopefully everybody enjoyed that one. Thank you for watching and or listening. Datto, where can people find you on the internet?
Oh man, so many places. Twitch.tv/Datto, youtube.com/DattoDoesDestiny. Twitter is @Datto'sDestiny, and OnlyFans is let me see if I remember it.
Do you really have one?
OnlyFans/Datto.
That'd be sick if you did.
I don't remember my login, but it's coming because I have to do a
no meme, actual OnlyFans?
Oh no, it's onlyfans.com/Datto, no post yet. Oh, can I make an addendum to my OnlyFans? It's Datto cosplay. It's not just Datto.
Hey,
I have to do it for my charity incentive.
I'll be a stand.
Unironic.
Do you keep the funds from the OnlyFans? Or does that go?
Do I have to charge for it? Can I just upload stuff?
Oh, I don't know how OnlyFans works.
Oh, I don't know. I was just gonna make like $1.
Okay, I have no idea.
If I have to monetize it, it's whatever's the lowest.
Yeah, I was like, you'll be the first, but probably only ever OnlyFans. Yeah,
it's an unironic OnlyFans. So there will be plenty of warning posts. Mainly like warning. You're about to see this shit, so just reconsider what you're doing with your life before you click on this, and then if you really want to, then knock yourself out.
Copy that.
Blue, where can they find you?
You guys find me everywhere at BlueWestlo.
Rob?
Twitch.tv/RobbyV. And everywhere else.
Mr. Fruit on YouTube, and I have various handles everywhere else because it was hard to grab the name. In fact, my actual
I like to
YouTube
make things
URL
complicated for people. Have different names literally everywhere.
All right, well then let me go through it. YouTube is my Mr. Fruit. Twitter is Mr. Fruit YT. Instagram is Mr. Fruit Gaming. Twitch is I think I actually got my Mr. Fruit, so at least that's the same as YouTube, which I didn't want it to be, but that's
How do you not have Mr. Fruit on Twitch?
taken.
Crap.
It is what it is. Yeah.
All right.
Unluckers. But that's this episode. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you to Datto for joining us. With that, we will see
My
you
pleasure.
in the next one. Farewell.
Bye.